Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We believe it means more when something's made by hand here at Cracker Barrel, and we hope you think so too. So stop on by. You're always welcome.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the ISCA 2025 Super Cup Series. This is the Cracker Barrel 195 at Phoenix. I am Joe Locastro, joined in the booth tonight by my good friends, my buddies Big Al and Sheldon Adkins, and joining the truck by Kobe Jordan. Special shout out tonight specifically to Kobe Jordan and his friends down under because they're going through some bad weather. So if anybody has some friends in Australia, be sure to check in on them and say hi. There's some big storms going on down there, but up here things are pretty good, and it looks like we're going to have clear enough weather so that Kobe can give us a race. Let's go ahead and get the introductions back underway. Big Al, how you doing this week?
Hey, Big Al's doing pretty good, man. Excited to be here back in the desert. You know, spent a lot of time in the desert back in my day, and I said I was never going back, but I'll come to Phoenix. How about yourself, Joe? How you doing today?
I'm holding it down, man, holding it down. It's Thursday, leading into Friday. Couldn't be much better. About to call a race with my good friends here. Sheldon, how are you doing?
Pretty good, man. Excited to sit here and watch another great ISCA event, especially here from Phoenix. Track that I know and love very well through personal experience here on the service. Just glad to be up here another week in a row.
Yeah, we're going to get to know the track a little better, too, because you're going to give us some keys to the racing a little bit here. Phoenix is a uniquely shaped track. It's why we were just talking about how I like a track with a unique shape to it, and this is definitely one of them. Well, we've got a hell of a race tonight, folks. 195 laps on a track that is almost exactly 1 mile long here. 7 sets of tires behind there now. We've got 2 stage breaks, one at 41, one at 70. The fuel range on these bad boys is about 90 laps, though, so don't look for too many pit stops early on. There's going to be a lot of hard racing. Air temperature 74 in the air, 97 on the track right now. We'll see if that goes up or down maybe over the course of the evening, of the afternoon here. But Phoenix is looking hot, and things are looking good. I've never been down here personally. Have either of you been to Phoenix physically?
Yes, I've been to Phoenix, Arizona, but I've not been to the racetrack, Joe.
Okay. Sheldon, you made it down there at all?
Nope. Have not.
It might be on the list.
Something
Maybe
about
it looks.
something about the desert heat just don't resonate too much with me.
And, you know,
I feel you.
And, you know, there's no trees in the desert, so once you cruise on into Avondale, man, there ain't really no place to kind of find a spot to get some shade. Yeah, the desert it's the desert, man.
Yeah, we're not going to get much cooler in this situation either, as these guys are going around. We've had some folks who have been on the track already for almost 100 laps of practice. Some good names here in the championship series up at the top. Some of the faster laps have been Brandon Pasalacqua. We've seen Patrick Gitter do some good laps too. But let's squeeze in the keys to the race here if we've got some time before we get things started with the national anthem. So, Sheldon, this week, why don't you give us a couple of keys to racing at Phoenix?
Yeah, starting things out, managing your inputs, that's going to be a huge key. Steadiness is what Phoenix loves the most. And that's on all fronts. You don't want to put too much wheel into it. You don't want to put too much brake into it. And you don't want to put too much gas into it. You really want to be smooth in and smooth off. Modular braking, huge key here, as well as a light foot getting back to the gas through the corners, because this place will eat the tires up quick. And as soon as it does, you are just going backwards quicker than you could even think about it. Second, off-track position is almost impossible to pass here. Honestly, I can't think of many tracks that is more difficult to make moves. You really want to maintain every spot you got and do everything you can to push forward, because losing one position on the track, it could take you about 5 to 10 laps just to get that back on the long run. And third of all, create passing opportunities, wherever that may be. Slamming it down against the inside wall on the dogleg to try and pull the slide job into turn number 1. It could be, into turn 1, because they made the track backwards. Trying to pull a slide job into turn number 1, you're going to see people using the bumper, dooring each other. It's going to get pretty aggressive if you want to make track position up, and it's pretty tricky. Then a personal one that's not on the list that I have to go with here is one of the most important things here, most important steps is going to be restarts and initial start. You can gain a whole lot of spots there, you can lose a whole lot of spots there, and it's so hard to get those spots back if you do lose them, because you're going to see cars fanned out 3, 4, 5 wide into turn number 1. Guys all the way down to the apron using lines you didn't even think of. Back to you, Joe.
All right. That's a lot to think about here. It's not just that straight oval. So anybody who's got, I think you were mentioning a little road experience, that's going to go a long way at a track like this. We've got just a couple of seconds left here of the warm-up. We're going to get that. I believe we have the national anthem after that. And then we're going to be getting things rolling here at Phoenix. Folks, if you're watching, thanks for joining. Love to have you. Be sure to send that link out to your friends, family, enemies, anybody you want to send it to. Get them out here. Let's watch some racing together. And I think any second now here, we got qualifying starting. So let's see how things go during qualifying. I forgot that happened before the national anthem. My bad. I got a big brain fart there.
On, Joe, get it together, man.
I'm trying my best here, Like I said, it's leading into Friday, and my brain's already in that TJIF state of mind. But yeah, I'll try to focus it down by focusing on who's racing. And right now, it's Kevin Zosiak we got eyes on, going around and setting his initial lap here. Zosiak, let's see if I can pull up on my side some of the ISCA's current standings, and we can talk a little bit about where these guys fall.
I'm running wide there, trying to build momentum down the front straightaway to really make this initial lap cook. Tight up into the wall into 1 and 2. That's not going to help any.
No, unfortunately not. Yeah.
Oh, and he's losing it. Hard contact to the left side coming out of turn 2.
This is not a recovery he's going to make here. That's going to be it. And those X's, I believe, are going to carry over into the race tonight.
At last, right, there's your points as they sit right now. Patrick Gitter in front of Matt DiCiani and Heitman. That's your top 3. Paul Hill in 4th with Brandon Pasalacqua, last week's winner, and the guy we're looking at on track right now sitting in 5th.
Looking good. I've got couple other names on there, I think, that are going to have some good nights tonight. Some names that have had some decent times during practice. Tim Wortman Jr. was up on the practice list pretty high there, and he's sitting 7th on the overall Cup Series points list. He could use a win. But we've got a lot of racing ahead. 195 laps, though, at around, somewhere around 27 seconds a lap. This is going to it's going to click by, especially with the 2 stages in the middle of that and the impeccable pedigree of the racing in the ISCA. I think we're going to see some really impressive stuff here. Let's follow the next car, Dave Hughes Jr. in the 22.
Now everybody chasing after Patrick Gitter, who's sitting on the pole with a 27-2.
I'm going to tell you, old Dave Hughes Jr. had a very interesting week last week, guys. It seems that, I think he hit about everything on the racetrack that he possibly could. I don't know. Or was that the week before last, or was that the last 2 weeks? What are we doing with?
He's had a few good ones.
See, I'm not usually the guy. Yeah, I'm the guy that's going to call these guys out. So just look forward to that. So Dave, no hard feelings, man. Just try to keep it out of the wall, and don't play nice with others. That's what you need to do tonight.
Yeah, I think that's probably got to be the overall message for most of these drivers here is, keep it off the wall and try not to bump into everybody else, especially on this track when a lot can go wrong, especially in one specific spot, which is, I guess it's coming out of that fast 4 there. Is that sharp left where we're going to want to watch out the most for guys to go sliding up?
Well, when those guys get through that infamous dog leg, you got a lot of guys that are going to that's what they're going to risk it for the biscuit. That's the ultimate time to try to save some time. But the problem that you got to worry about is you can literally, you can snap the front end of that car in positions that it probably doesn't like. So that's going to be one thing that drivers are definitely going to have to be cautious of. Another thing is you got to really watch out when you go into that hot turn 1, because it's going to be through for a ride there at times, and it's going to be just not getting run over.
Yeah. Whoop. Around and around.
Yeah, Kevin Strunk gets sideways here. A little bit of contact to the wall. Thankfully, these guys don't have to worry about backup cars.
Phew. Did he contact? I didn't. I thought he got lucky there for a second.
That's it. It doesn't matter. He's still going to get the minus on that lap. So
that's true. Might come back to bite him.
Yes, rough break. I can't think of anything worse, too, than having to start mired in traffic at Phoenix, of all places.
Oh, man, that first turn. I think you meant it was the first turn where everyone's going to kind of stack up and go 6 wide down on the apron. Is that what we have to look forward to?
Yeah, they're going to go somewhere. And if that's going to definitely be the choke point.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Let's have the national anthem here now.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave
We're back, folks. Back for more racing, and we have the grid here at hand. We're going to give that a rundown here before we tell you who we think is going to take the checkered flag tonight. Let's get things started. In the first place position, in the pole position, it's Patrick Gitter. Second place, Matt DiCiani. Third, Joey Preby. Fourth, Derek Heitman. Fifth, Brendan Pasalacqua. Sixth, Vincent Crow. Seventh, Paul Hill. Eighth, Randy Mullins. Ninth, Tim Wortman Jr. 10th, Bacon Zelenka. 11th, Chris Crosby. And 12th, Josh Schaffner.
13th, Dave Fuge. And 14th, Alexander Carr. 15th, Ryan Strunk with Kenny Powell in 16th. 17th, Greg Carr with J.C. Evans, 19th. 19th, Kevin Zosiak and Kendall LeBron, 20th. 21st is Jason Maines, Connor Banks in 22nd. 23rd is Greg Wachinski with Jose Medina in 24th.
In 25th place, we have Randy Belk with Nick King to his outside. Followed by 26th, Jeremy Clapper Newell with Jay Hun in 27th. 29th is going to be Chuck Burley with Matthew Cisna in 30th. With 31st position, going to be Brian Johnson with Randy Drumhiller on his outside in 32nd. 33rd is going to be Chris Johnson with Paul Olson to his outside in 34th. And then rounding out the 36 car field tonight is going to be John Binder and David Gervais.
Woohoo! All right. The grid is done. They're about to get ready to do their lap. Let's talk about who we think is going to win, fellas. I am going to pick Tim Wortman Jr. tonight. For some reason, his name just stood out to me. How about you, Big Al?
I'm going to go with Patrick Gitter. Gitter's going to get it done. Just waiting on the race to come to him, and he's going to see his way through.
And Sheldon, who you taking?
Man, he put on one heck of a show last week at COTA, and if there's one thing I've learned about Phoenix throughout the years is it really takes a road course skill set and mindset to get through the modular braking. I got to go with the 6 machine, Brandon Pasalacqua.
Very good choice. Very good choice. And down in the truck, the Aussie. Who you saying? Brandon Pasalacqua. A 2 for tonight. Not bad, not bad, not bad.
So does that mean we just double jinxed him?
Yeah. The big double commentator jinx. You know how we do it. Hey, my pick on the Tuesday night, or my pick on the Monday night series won. It was I forgot who.
It was Healy.
Healy. It was Scott Healy. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe there'll be some luck.
You gave him the commentator blessing.
It's not Monday anymore.
You're right. It's not Monday, but you know what? It's also not me. So it could be a bit of a different situation. Maybe Monday's just my day. You never know. But if you've got a pick for tonight's race, go ahead and throw it into the chat. Give us a little shout out here. Let us know who you think is going to take it as we get things rolling right now. Starting the 1 to go lap out in front. In the front of the group right now, it's Patrick Gitter.
Don't just do that. Also, throw us your favorites down there in that comment section. Let us know who you're rooting for here tonight.
Yes, please.
Also, Joe, you've always struck me as a Monday.
I don't know what to say to that.
That's more like a Wednesday.
That was a very Wednesday thing to say of you.
I didn't know he had pigtails.
Fair enough. No, I definitely don't. I used to have a red mohawk, but never pigtails.
Oh man, we need pictures of that up here.
And
I'll try to find some
that he's wearing.
I do have 2 kilts too, but let's not go into that.
That's a skirt, Joe. Green flag's out.
We're getting things ready to go. Here we go. There's the green flag, and we are go at the ISCA, flying into turn 1. 3 wide already in the front. Easy money right now. DiCiani and Patrick Gitter smoothing things out, though, turning that 3 wide back into 2 wide pretty fast as we come around and get things going. There's the wall. Anybody going to bite it early on? Nope. Still racing. Love to see it. Let's see how things go.
And then one thing these guys are definitely cognizant of, that's the fact that these good years are very cold, and sometimes cold good years equal bad laps. So we're going to see if they can hold on so they can kind of get a little heat in those tires, guys, and then maybe get it going a little bit here tonight.
Yeah, be careful though. As low as these tire pressures are starting out here at Phoenix, you can really wear these things out really quick just by trying to be too aggressive. All
Yeah,
these cars,
especially-
guarantee you, they're sitting on 28 pounds on that right side.
Yeah, especially the temperatures we're watching as well. 74 degrees in the seats, 96 degrees on the street. That's at the start of the race. That's something we'll definitely be keeping our eyes on as these laps continue to turn.
And I'm watching right now this transition that they can hit where they go down to the apron. That's got to be hell on those tires with that tire pressure. It's just got to be something that, compared to other tracks where you stay up above the line more, like it's on the straight oval. I'm just imagining the amount of wear. Do you guys think that's got a little bit of extra impact here? What do you think, Al?
I think drivers are definitely going to be kind of keeping in mind that they got 3 strong stages to get through, and these guys know that. So there's really no sense of kind of going out there giving. If you're going to do it, first stage is definitely where they're going to wear them out, just kind of to figure out what the degradation is going to be. But you're trying to keep that car together. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, it got pretty much to the heart of the matter. I just want to see if they ever decide not to dive down on that apron.
Yeah, they're going to definitely not dive down on that apron, especially as the race goes on, because the more you dive down there, like I said earlier, that's when you're going to start to damage that front clip. And so also there's a crease down there. It kind of causes that car to get a little bit, what do you say, a little bit wobbly?
A little bit wobbly wobbly. I can accept that. I speak that language, and I think that I know exactly what you mean.
I think the professional term we're all looking for is de-wedged.
Yeah,
I've seen some crazy accidents occur throughout the years. Everybody being nice with each other right now. Single file for the most part. A little bit of battling right now. The 9 machine taking it to the bottom of Dave Fuge. You're into 3.
Yeah,
I still refuse to say there's a 4th turn there.
Do you remember when the first time the Cup cars came here to this track with this configuration? Nobody knew that they were actually going to dive in there as deep as they did going into turn 1. And I remember, man, they were just, the front ends of these cars were screaming.
I bet they were smashed to pieces. I always think about the clearance that these things have with that splitter down there, and just any amount of like heavy gunk jostling and that switching. It's got to eat it up. But I guess they have just enough clearance. Not worry about it.
It used to be for the longest time we'd come here, and iRacing didn't have the hitbox mapped properly for underbody damage. You'd come through that dog leg, and somehow you'd get roof damage. It was funny because by the time the race was over, the end of NIS, it looked like everybody had been flipped over at Daytona.
That's beautiful. What a sight to behold. Thank you, iRacing, for always trying your best. At least in most cases. This is right now cameras on the number 3 car. Whoop. Moving over to the 48 now. We're kind of jumping around a little bit. This is Jose Medina right now. He's the only lapped vehicle, I believe. Is he lapped right now? Yes, he is. A few laps behind there. Yeah, looks like there was a moment we might have missed a big moment for Jose Medina. That's gonna be a tough spot for him to come back in. But as long as he gets to the stage 1, he'll get his laps. He'll get at least a lap or 2 back.
Now, what
Maybe
we're
even
seeing here right now
I'm sorry. Go on.
is what I was alluding to in the pre-race, how important those restarts, initial starts are. Up here at the top of this field, everybody's kind of locked in place. Nobody able to make any big moves on each other, close any gaps. And it's just how difficult it is to navigate the dirty air here at Phoenix. It's one of the hardest tracks in the world to make it through that bubble.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of exactly what you're saying here. There's so much single file happening here, and it's just got me wondering, like, what's the holdup? Where's the aggression? And it's just the fact that the air, like you said, the air coming off these cars with this irregular movement is not as predictable. It's not as usable, and there's not as many opportunities to make that pass.
Everybody just gets so locked in here. Got clean hair Vinny back there just outside of the top 5, though, sitting in 6th behind Passalacqua. Old Vincent Crowe and the main and tail machine.
Driving in VR, holding on tight. Hope it's working out there, Vincent.
He's got a
I can't
rear
see
view.
the right car colors.
He's got a rear view mirror full of Paul Hill. Paul giving him a little tap there, looking down to the bottom here on the dog leg. Not able to get the momentum to stick, though. We'll bring it right back to the bumper here in 1 and 2. Looks like Paul's getting really good drive off the corner, though. And that's what you really want here at Phoenix. You want good drive off. That entry speed, everybody charges that corner thinking it's going to be everything that matters. But, man, that corner exit is huge at a place like this.
Hill's on it. Look behind him, though. It's Tim Wortman Jr. on the inside of Bacon Zelenka. He's moving up now. Wortman Jr. has put it side by side. He's had a couple times here that he's tried to make the pass on Bacon and just hasn't quite made it. I think he's going to now. Almost a little bit of corner. Just almost. I don't think they quite made it, but that was almost a quarter panel to the front right there between the two of them. Whoop! Maybe a little bit of a brake squeal behind Wortman Jr. there, but there's a battle on top of a battle happening right now. Crowe is trying to hold off Hill while Zelenka is trying to hold off Wortman.
And everybody's just doing the best they can. Keep it pretty clean and green, gentlemen. Keep it a little bit boring. While we're talking about boring, let's give our over-under for cautions for the race.
Okay. Well, let's see. We did talk about this a little bit. I'm going to stick with my original number, 6. I think this racetrack is going to get dangerous.
And Big
What do you
Al's
think,
gonna-
Al?
I'm going to come in at a very high 4.
Okay. I like that too. And Sheldon?
I'm going to come in with 8. It's a hard-to-pass track. We're going to have stage cautions. We got 2 of those guaranteed. And if there's one thing I know about Phoenix, man, it's cautions breed cautions. You always get that good, clean, long green flag run to start the thing off. Then once you get in the middle and everybody realizes they can't make those moves, everything goes haywire.
Oh, well, 8 is a pretty good number, but as the race goes on, we still have 195 laps. We're only on lap 18 right now, so with 170 and change, pardon me, we have a lot of chances for those flags to come out. Here comes the move now. Hill, I'm looking at the Vincent Crowe and Hill fight still. Hill just about dove into the back of Vincent Crowe. He's got the speed. He's really, really trying now. Uses the apron there. Doesn't quite have the run off the end, but still diving down to the inside of Vincent Crowe. If Vincent Crowe can make it to the end of stage 41 while holding him off, I'll be pretty impressed here. At the end of lap 41, that's the end of our first stage, I'll be pretty impressed. So we got about 22 laps to go till the end of stage 1.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
you
then
see right
also, I just want to throw in Kobe's call was free. So the man down there in the band, the guy from down under, the guy that makes us all wonder, Kobe, he's picked 3.
That's true.
Right now, I got to
And
say,
we'll
I'm seeing out of Vincent's car what I saw in practice. This looks like he's a little snug, burning off that right front. See him running that middle to top line, not able to get to the bottom here in 3 and 4. And Hill's going to get a huge dive and just about makes contact with Vincent Crowe. Vincent's going to use some momentum of the top line, though, to pull him down the front straightaway. But there's still a dead heat coming into turn number 1.
And speaking of heat, go on, Al.
No, that's unfortunate for these 2 guys because it's really going to cost them lose valuable positions, valuable timing with the guys in front. So when you start battling like that, you got to be cognizant because it allows those leaders to get a drive away. And on a track like Phoenix, once those guys get the drive away, you're just hoping that stage caution comes out quick enough to kind of reel them back in.
And I'll tell you what, if you're Paul Hill right now, you want nothing more than to see male pattern baldness hit the gentleman in front of you. Because he's just getting mired behind Vincent Crowe. Every move he tries to make, Vincent finds a way to block it or hold him off. And I think it's going to be a handful of laps to see the bumper.
I think you're right. He started playing very defensively here, and Vincent Crowe's use of the track has gotten much, much more strategic. There we see him down the apron, which we haven't seen him use that line when he was just trying to keep his speed. but he's using it now as a defensive option against the ever-aggressive Paul Hill, who is really trying to find that spot behind him. And behind him, it's Wortman Jr., who has made the pass on Zelenka, and now the two of them are going to
Oh, here he comes with the boat down to the inside. Just about got him around.
Got to make it stick, and that's what he's going to be doing. You're letting off the throttle just in time, hoping that she hooks up so you can get the drive off. Speaking of the drive off, got the 3 car. That's David Gervais. Not thinking that lap traffic was going to be a factor, but we actually have him in the 43 of Paul Olsen. If they continue the pace that they're running, they definitely will be a factor. This looks like we've got ourselves about 16 to go before the first stage.
Oh, and here we go. Paul Hill down the bottom, going to muscle Vincent Crow out of the way.
Is he going to get help? No help from Wortman.
No help to be had at this place.
Yeah, the 26
here comes Wortman.
Score early there as he's trying to get the drive off. These guys are really setting themselves up to have a 2x2 situation. That's some serious racing is going on here for what appears to be the Sunwood position in the 6th place as well.
Some very intense movement here as these guys are getting lined up. I think that if Wortman Jr. works with Paul Hill, he's got a very good chance of getting both of them past Vincent Crow in a smooth and orderly fashion. Sheldon, what do you think of their chances of doing that before the end of the stage here?
I can tell you there's absolutely no such thing as working together here at Phoenix, unfortunately. A little too short for the draft to really be beneficial. He could stay in line behind him, but the problem is if he stays in line behind the 26 machine, he's just going to get challenged from behind. Vincent Crow doing a really good job at holding his track position, but also holding everybody up behind him just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe I'm not thinking of work together like a draft situation as much as I'm visualizing him using it just to maintain a block as Hill passes and just maintain that track position. Because if you get into the head of Crow and he realizes that Hill's got that track position, he's going to try to go back and tuck in behind Hill, and when he can't, that's your chance to stay in there behind Hill and wait. And Crow's brain is going to take him back one extra position. So maybe that's an opportunity for him. I don't know. That's how I would play it. But then again, I'm not a very good racer.
I'll tell you what, one thing that I'm actually, the guys behind him, they're going to get a little frustrated because at some point you have to realize that at this point he is essentially holding up traffic. Now, I'm not going to be the guy that just brings it up. Somebody's got to call it what it is. I mean, there are guys back there that might be just a little bit faster, so they're going to be trying to figure out how to get around him at any point. Now, remember, the 45 to 47, these guys they were pretty fast last week. I mean, Bacon led quite a few laps, if you will. Vincent never got his chance up front, but Bacon is probably going to want to try to have another points performance like he had last week.
Hill's had to cycle up to the outside line here with Tim Wortman getting to the bottom, and it's really thrown Hill off. He's hit the wall a couple times here, not used to that outside line, getting up in the marbles and sliding up. But now we got a 3-wide battle stacking up here for position. As you see, Mullins trying to dive down to the bottom to get to the inside of Wortman.
I think you were on to something, Big Al. I think that this guy, the battle here for 6th has definitely preoccupied.
Good bumper.
Wortman gets into the side of Hill and gets a shot from behind from Mullins. Good save out of the 83 machine there, because that should have been curtains.
Oh, wait, I want to hear Joe say. Joe was saying that I was right. Gosh, come on, let him finish. Let him finish.
I'll get back to that point, Big Al, but I wanted to quickly pour one out for my race pick, having to go back a couple of places. Tim Wortman now down 3 from where he started, but Big Al, you were right. I think that they're holding up traffic, and I think that they're going to have to realize that the guys behind them are going to have to realize that even though you can't work with anybody here, even though the passing is difficult, it's being handed to you. Like, it's being squished together by these guys fighting for 6th. And if they can keep fighting, then the guys in the back are going to have a chance to mix up their positions just that much more.
Yeah, and that's one thing this first stage, it's the opportunity to come out here and race as hard as you can so you can come back and make those adjustments because, between the first and the second stage, that's when you're going to know if those adjustments are right because once you go out on the long run, you're along for the ride.
I'm also going to say, I hate to say it twice within a couple minutes, but you know what else Big Al was right about? Look up to the front of the pack right now with a second advantage, Patrick Gitter. Absolutely running away from these guys behind him.
And also,
Big
Al,
in front.
Big Al's right again because look who's in front of him. There's David Gervais, and he's going to have to get by. Lap traffic, stage 1. Wow, who would have called that one, guys?
I don't know.
It's true. Now it's only a mile of track, but this is Phoenix, and if you do get back a little bit, you are going to get caught up. Speaking of the lap traffic, here he comes. He knows what the position is. He gets up to the outside. There goes David Gervais, falling down one lap, unfortunately. As Patrick Gitter, our current race leader, still almost a second and a half ahead of Matt DiCiani in second, takes it away. We are on lap 34 of 41, I believe, here in stage 1.
Saw Heitman thinking about going 3 there for a second with his teammate.
This is where guys are going to get desperate because at this point, you understand if your number is higher than 10, that means you just race for free and you just burn a bunch of gas. The only way you're going to get paid for this stage is if your number is less than 10. And the lower that number is, the more points you're going to bring home. So that's the goal right now, especially with 5 to go on the stage.
Freebie with a hard shot to the wall coming out of turn number 4, battling with Heitman.
Rough spot. He's down 1 now.
That's going to put him in the hands of Pasalacqua here.
Yeah. Losing a lot of speed right in front of Brandon Pasalacqua is just a buffet for him. He's going to step forward, try to get the position. Nope, a little block from Freebie, who's able to maintain his speed pretty well after that little contact. But Pasalacqua is also going to maintain track position and say, nope, I'm taking the inside. I've got the speed on the apron. I've got the speed in the back straight here, or into the back straight here. And I'm going to stick with you right on that quarter panel.
Now, was Freebie in Pasalacqua, were they akin last week, or am I missing something? I know he had a little skirmish with Bacon. But, guys, look, we got 4 laps to go, and a 45 just into the wall, that's not going to be good. Probably going to definitely have some damage after that. Looks like he might have gotten a little bit of contact with the 24.
Yeah, right front's folded up pretty bad. Doesn't look like the toe link's knocked out, though.
Nope, not showing anything on the board, so he's still good to go at this point.
Kenny Powell, just almost a little bit of contact there with Schaffner. Very, very close. Just close enough to autograph the side of his car. And he's going to fall back to that position.
Got to get a little bit of a stripe there premature, right?
Very close. Lap 39. Patrick Gitter's coming around, getting ready for what will be the lap before the end of stage 1, or the 2 laps to go, excuse me. Before the end of stage 1. We'll break things down once the stage ends for you. We'll take a little break after that, but in the meantime, let's keep our eyes on the action, folks. Remember, that battle for 6th, well, it's still going on. If we go back and we look at Vincent Crowe, he is still holding off, but this time he is holding off Randy Mullins, who has moved ahead of Paul Hill and is now pressuring Vincent Crowe down on the inside.
And the one thing that we're going to be keeping our eyes on, and that's going to be the 10th place position, because this race goes until the 10th place car crosses the line. Right now, that is showing us a 5-0 Josh Schaffner. Raiders coming around again. I believe that's going to put us at 1 lap to go in the stage.
That's right. When Schaffner crosses the line, that'll be the end of the stage. At least right now, it was when he crosses the line. It's Kenny Powell right behind him. He's ahead of Chris Crosby, so it looks like this might be the set for the end of stage 1 here. Patrick Gitter's about to cross the line, or he will in just a moment here. And we are going to have our results for you. It's been a pretty impressive stage.
No, Mullins is going to just barely edge out Vincent Crowe at the start-finish line for the 5th position.
All right, so that's going to put your running order in. Patrick Gitter gets the stage. Derek Heitman,
6th.
P2, Matt DiCiani, 3rd, Joey Preeby, 4th, 5th place, Brandon Pasalacqua, 6th, Randy Mullins, 7th, Vincent Crowe, 8th, Paul Hill, 9th, Chris Crosby, and Josh Schaffner rounds out the top 10 with stage 1 in the books. We're going to take a brief step away, get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
We believe it means more when something's made by hand here at Cracker Barrel, and we hope you think so too. So stop on by. You're always welcome.
We are back, folks, on the ISCA Live here for the Cracker Barrel 195. And guess who we've got in the booth right now? Patrick Gitter, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, wonderful. Gonna congratulate you on the victory for Stage 1 there. You got out ahead early in the race. You held on to it. Tell us a little bit about your experience driving Phoenix so far.
Well, officials have had a ton of cautions. Didn't see any in that first stage, so that's a testament to ISCA with clean and competitive racing. So I feel like we got a good long run car, and this will be a great test to see how it holds up.
Absolutely. Is there anybody behind you that you're worried about right now? Anybody sneaking up on you that you might have to teach a lesson or two here in Stage 2?
Oh man, I mean my teammates, Joey's back here, all the Paradigm guys are usual suspects. Paul's probably going to be good. There's a laundry list of guys, so I think it's going to be interesting to watch here.
That's fair. And it is all you guys, so good luck with the race.
All right, 10-4. Thanks, guys.
Here we go. That was Patrick Gitter. We are about to go green here. And as he mentioned, it is a three-man team of Fortis Motorsports there at the front. So they've got things pretty locked up right now. If anybody was to get past that would make things a little more interesting, it might be Freebie there in the fourth place slot, because Heitman, DeCiani, and Gitter are all together. That's the green flag. We are green yet again here on the ISCA Live.
Yeah, one thing that
Missed
happened.
a shift.
One thing,
he
that's
did?
the money shift. That's going to cause a lot of big whoops there. Josh Schaffner gets into Randy Mullins. That kind of pushes back traffic there. Got the 87 kind of hanging. Yeah, definitely missed the shift and caused some big whoops. One thing I wanted to note is this race is the first race this season that we no longer have the choose rule. So it's kind of you run what you brung. You start where you end it, and that's all you get. So we're back underway, guys, and we really avoided a big one right there. Could have went any way.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, Sheldon, you saw what happened? Tell us about it.
Just unfortunate break for Freebie there. Misses a shift and goes from third place all the way back to 12th in contact with the wall right in front of him.
That's Schaffner in front of him in the 50.
I'm going to say this. I mean, I've been watching Josh Schaffner for a long time, a lot of years, and I wonder just how long it's going to take, because Freebie, he hadn't been tapping him on the butt saying good game, but he has been really bumping Schaffner for a while, and I think it's just going to be a minute before Schaffner bumps back.
Well, if anybody is going to... right now, the bumping that we've seen since this stage started has been Schaffner against the wall, but he's going to come down and block Kendall LeBron, who is down on the inside here, side by side with Joey Freebie. Freebie and LeBron both working together to try to get past the 50 of Josh Schaffner, who is throwing some pretty good blocks here, despite having just bounced off the wall. He kept his stuff together, and he is holding on to it.
Yeah, definitely good to see Kendall LeBron up here fighting for a position, trying to get into the top 10. Those guys have had some struggles, but tonight looks like they're doing pretty good. So we're going to be keeping our eye on them as well as their progression, especially throughout the rest of the season.
Fight the line. Quite the line there at the back. That fight for 10th place is definitely one of the more heated fights going on. But we still have a pretty good fight going up at the front, actually. This has not been a runaway situation for Patrick Gitter, who we were just speaking to a moment ago. He is now fighting for his life against Derek Hyman and Matt DiCiani, who are on his team still, but they could decide to maybe give him a little bit of a friendly challenge here. Though I think that at this point, the three of them are probably just racing in order to hold on to that top position.
And, when you got a teammate, the likes of, say, Gitter and Heitman and DiCiani, these guys are maybe sitting in the same house tonight. Iron sharpens iron. That's all I can say. I can't even say that shit. But that's what I'm trying to say. And these guys, they're going to keep pushing each other to be better. They're not going to go high five and you win this thing, but they're going to be out there every lap pushing each other to do the best they can. And speaking of pushing each other, the 3-car David Gervais finds himself behind the wall. It might be the first car that we actually have to, maybe give up his services for us tonight.
Yeah, I think when Gervais got in that incident at the start of the race, I think he bent a toe link because I was watching him crab walk a little bit directly after the contact with the wall. Somebody I got to put a highlighter on right now, though, sitting in the 10th position after a couple of hard weeks. At least since I've been in the booth, it feels like Jason Maines has been in just about everything he could possibly be in. No fault of his own. Sitting up here, though, just inside the top 10. Hanging around. Good run for him tonight.
Yeah, that's not a bad spot for him. And he's up. Yeah, he's in the top. He's just about at the top 10, up 10 positions also. So as luck would have it, Jason Maines. For your consideration, Jason Maines.
And I definitely want to give a shout out to Jason, man. Been watching him race here in the ISCA, and a lot of people, because I just know, I just watch. I don't race. I'm more of a coach and a critic. But I watched Jason Maines come in here, man, and this can be a little bit of an intimidating crew. But he has gotten in there, and he got knocked out a couple of times. I mean, I'm just saying, but he battled back. And I'm saying it's just a matter of time before you see him, and he's going to be consistently in the top 10. And I think you're going to see that sooner than later.
Well, Jason's one of those guys that, he's just here for the love of motorsports, man. Like, got to call him a lot last year in NIS and A Open. Father of Garrett Maines, and just really respectful guy. Just comes out here, has fun. Doesn't always have the best stuff under him, but you never see him give up. He's there to the last lap every time.
Camera right now on Tim Wortman Jr., who is falling back, unfortunately. It looks like he still had some bad luck there. He's down 16 positions right now, sitting in 25th from where he started. And he was able to pass Connor Banks for a 25th position briefly, and then it looks like he's in 25th right now. And that's currently when he was up a little bit further up in the pack earlier. He had some really good times during practice, so it was a bad turn with the wall, I believe, that was what spelled doom for his momentum.
Well, he had a pretty I'm not even going to look for big words. He had a pretty bad week last week. So anything that he can kind of do to come out here and just, get the Uzis off of himself and kind of get back out there and try to get back up and have a good race. That's the key. I think they want to finish strong is the goal. And so you can finish it strong. The 3 of David Gervais is back onto the racing track.
Hey, all right. I like that stick-to-itiveness. And I got to ask, Big Al, is I love it. Is the Uzis an official medical term that you're going to use tonight?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with that. Kind of like we had the crash events. We're going with the big Uzis.
Yeah, it's right there with the heebie-jeebies.
I like it. Yep. I like it. The Uzis it is. And you know who doesn't have the Uzis? It would be that team at the front, Team Fortis, who now has Brendan Pasalacqua actually behind them. Pasalacqua using the apron a little bit, coming back up on the track. He's got some speed. He's got some positions to make up to get back up to the front, or to get to the front. Excuse me. He started the race in 5th. But he's only about a half second behind DiCiani right now, and that time hasn't really adjusted too much. It's been a half second for a while. I wonder if he's going to be able to find the extra oomph that he needs, or the extra something that he needs to just close that half-second gap and try to put some heat on the heels of Team Fortis.
Yeah, I think that's going to be time and patience. And Brandon is not a guy that goes out half-cocked. I mean, he is a guy that looks at the racetrack, almost like it's a puzzle. And if I've ever seen anybody that comes in with surgical precision and can dissect anything, it's Brandon. He's a guy that's never going to count out, man. He's a young driver. He has a great look. I mean, he sees the track the way he needs to see it. Because not everybody sees the track. Some guys just go out there and they just see traffic and cars, right? But this guy he can actually see what he needs to see. I believe they said Dale Earnhardt could see the air. I mean, he's along that line.
That's deep. That's beautiful. Yeah, trying to be able to see. Yeah, I as soon as you said Dale Earnhardt could see the air, I could understand what you meant by that, even though I knew that was not something I'd ever experienced or could experience for myself. That's the kind of thing that takes a certain level of expertise. And being able to really feel the track, know the track, that's inspiring to see. So it's always great to see these guys. And I think Patrick Gitter made a really great point. We haven't had a yellow yet. So far, we've had stage 1 go by. We're on lap 63 of stage 2, and we still haven't seen it yet. We're going to lap 70 for the end of stage 2. So this race is still going. We haven't had to have pit stops for aside from the first stage ending there. We haven't had to worry about that yet, but we will have some green flag pit stops coming up during stage 2. So stay tuned for when that comes into play.
You might have jinxed us. You might have jinxed us with the statement that we're going to see how that goes out.
Good. I have to make it to 6 flags.
Well, yeah, you're probably not going to see the beat trade this week. I'm just going to go out there and press and say, yeah, it's probably out of your reach. But I'm telling you what, Patrick Gitter has reached to the back of the 43, and now he is going to be up in amongst the leaders, and we're going to see how that shakes out, because depending on where they get him with this late in the stage, with just 5 laps to go, it could actually cause a little bit of problems, Maybe the wrong kind of boots under your bed.
That's a good way to put it. It's a good turn of phrase. These lap cars are always wild cards in that regard, and so I don't really necessarily envy either of them, either Patrick Gitter or the I think that's Jeremy Clapper Newell. Excuse me, Ryan Strunk. Who's the next car he's going to have to pass here? I think that's Clapper Newell.
The 48 should be Jose Bandina.
Oh, Jose Medina. Excuse me. I'll make sure I get that right. I'm looking at my live timing list here, and I'm not looking at the cameras. That would be much, much better for knowing where the cars are on the track. How about that? Either way you slice it, we've got eyes all over the field right now. A few cars out. A man alone right now. That's the 49 of Jeremy Clapper Newell. He's towards the back of the front group, the current end car on the lead lap of 67.
And speaking of that, boy, do we have a battle right now going on for 10th place. Maybe not a lot happening in the front, but the battle between the 10 and the 45 for what would be the 10th position. So that is a battle for a true point, and it is going down right now, guys. Look at this. 45 going to stay down on the inside. He's not going to let that go. And the only thing that the 87 can say is just run, Joey, run. You don't want to get caught up in this, because this ain't good.
Mains with a huge pinch coming out of turn number 4.
It looks like we have a replay here of an event that just occurred. 43 down on the apron. That's the 43 of Paul Olson.
I think he's going to pull her down and park here.
Yep.
But he just
that's the game plan there.
I think he might have short pitted the stage right there. Looks like he might have actually been coming off the pit road. But yeah,
potentially.
We're still racing to the end of this thing.
Speaking of that, Patrick Gitter is going to be coming across the line here, and that means we got 10 cars after him. We'll see who gets those points, and right now it's going to be Jason Maines, your 10th car. He was able to win that spot from Bacon Zelenka, who slides a little bit, getting ready to get across the finish line there. And there's the flag, folks. That's the end of Stage 2 from the Cracker Barrel 195. Your Stage 2 winner, Patrick Gitter. Let's do the rundown. This time, you know what? Sheldon, you want to do the top 10 this time?
Sure. Bringing home
All right, why don't you go
P1
ahead
for
and break it
stage. Bringing home P1 for stage number 2 is going to be Patrick Gitter, followed by Derek Heitman in second. Third place, Matt DiCiani with Brandon Pasalacqua bringing it home fourth. Fifth place is going to be Paul Hill, followed by Vincent Crow in sixth. Seventh is going to be Kenny Powell with Randy Mullins, Joey Preby, and Jason Maines rounding out your top 10.
Lovely top 10 it is. Gitter, Heitman, and DiCiani still up there at the top of the list. That Team Fortress holding off all the other cars. It was a little bit of a tighter race at the front this time, so we'll see how a lot longer of a race makes things go for these guys, but we're going to stretch our legs. Go ahead and refill your drinks. Stretch your legs too, folks, and we'll see you on the other side of a commercial break here for more on ISCA Live.
We believe it means more when something's made by hand here at Cracker Barrel, and we hope you think so too. So stop on by. You're always welcome.
Hello, folks.
Excuse
We're
me.
back here on the ISCA Live. Getting ready here. We got a few in the pits.
Yeah,
Everybody
actually
else
got,
getting ready to come out.
we got Jason Maines up in the booth. Jason Maines, Big Al up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, so how's it going, man? Congratulations for your top 10 finish here. Picked up a stage point. How's that making you feel here for this season?
Well, I'm just happy not to have any PC issues, to be honest with you. So I completely redid everything last night and happy to not blue screen out. So just made a mistake while ago, racing with the guy up ahead of me and went in too deep and knocked the toe out a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. I didn't want to give up those spots, but I got some of it fixed.
Roger, just want to give you a chance to give a shout out, man. Good luck to you. I see you got to get back to work. Hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of this thing.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Big Al, for chatting there with the guy who squeaked into the top 10 there. That was Jason Maines, right? He was the 10th place finisher in stage 2. We had Team Fortis up in front. If you're just joining us, they've won the first 2 stages. That's Patrick Gitter, Derek Heitman, and Matt DiCiani. Brandon Pasalacqua is in 4th right now. Here comes the green flag, though. We are go, 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 and it's going to be stage 3 of the Cracker Barrel 195.
Now we're going to see if stage 3 shows us more of the same that we saw in the first 2 stages. Got a car into the wall.
No, it's a big one. Oh, no, it looks like it's not more of the same this time,
man.
Big Al.
Oh, they got Maines in that one too. Hard contact
They
with the time
got
machine.
Maines.
Well, fuck, we just broke the water out there. We popped the seal.
Yes, we did. Oh, it looks like
Josh
that was the 50 down. Schaffner down into Zelenka. Zelenka down into the 10.
Well, there was contact there in front. And I think Schaffner
like
tried to check up
Schaffner's-
late and
Looks like
lost
his
it.
car just kind of jerked jerked left. Not sure actually what took place, but can we watch the 5-0 right here at the start of this thing?
You said you thought that was a checkup there, Sheldon?
Yeah, there's a checkup there because 2 cars in front of him made contact. The 24 and I think the 54. Oh, the 87. Freebie.
87.
And I think he was paying attention to what was in the mirror and didn't see what's happening behind him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
45
see that.
just kind of plowed into the back of the 5-0, and yeah, unfortunately, yeah, if you watch that real slow, I guess I mean, not Schaffner's fault at all. I mean, he was just watching what was going on, and you know, just unfortunate for him. Looks like his car probably got pretty tore up.
I don't even think. I think he just lifted too. I'm not even sure he applied too much brake.
Well, we didn't get any. We didn't get any repairs required flags out of that. So maybe some scuffed paint, maybe some scuffed tires, maybe some hurt feelings, but nothing is. And you know, and it was early enough in the stage that it's not going to benefit anybody to come down on pit road unless you just absolutely have to get damage fixed. And you see that Zelenka Bacon type, he's down there. He's going to sit and fry for a little while, and I mean, he's probably steaming. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a couple of guys who now are on pit road getting fixed up after that. Bacon Zelenka, Chris Crosby, Randy Belk. Schaffner for sure is one of those. Alex Carr got caught up in it. Jason Maines we were just speaking to. So there's quite a few names. We had about 5 or 6 cars there that were pitted from that situation. As the lights go off in the pace car, we get ready. Now we are 1 to green. Going to get things started here again. Got to shake off those gremlins. Let go of, got to get rid of the Uzis, right? Got to get those out and shake them off. Oh, it looks like someone did get black flags. Was it Jason Maines you said there, Truck? Okay, Jason Maines did get the meatball, I think you said, yeah? Or, oh, just a black flag, okay. So he's going to have to go back around or do a drive-through, I think. Here, the pace car is off. We're getting ready to go. Tires are getting warm.
That would be entering a closed pit because he came down as soon as he was done wrecking.
Oh, that would be it.
End of the longest line.
If he can catch the pack in time, I do believe, but...
Well, we'll see here as we get ready to go green again. And there's the flag. We are go yet again. Let's try it once more here at the Cracker Barrel 195.
I forget to waste no time in getting her going, and he's been having exceptional starts just like that all night. That kind of speaks to the evening that he's having, but hopefully back in the back we can keep this thing going green. Looking to see we're 2 by 2 as we go. Kenny Powell side by side with the 26 car. This is about where everything went to crap last time. Hopefully we can avoid those situations. Looks like we're going to go ahead and get these things back up to operational temp. Riding along with the 24 of Kenny Powell. Nice nose shot.
And we are 3 wide here right now with the 87 of Joey Preeby. Paul Hill's on the outside of that, and the 24 of Kenny Powell, I think, in the middle.
Looks like it. Also, Jason Maines on pit road serving a penalty, it looks like.
You can go 3 wide to Phoenix.
Unfortunate there. That 3 wide resolved itself. Everybody's back in good shape, although it looks like there still is some side-by-side action right now. Paul Hill moving ahead, pushing past Kenny Powell, trying to get some speed on the outside, rubbing against that wall. Powell on the inside doesn't want to lose position to the 87 of Freebie. He's going to try to keep up with Hill ahead of him.
Freebie down to the bottom.
Putting that nose right there on the inside of Powell. Probably not a very comfortable spot, but looks like everything's well that ends well.
Yeah, Freebie just about got sent around there on the inside of Powell. Got real loose when he got to the left rear quarter panel. Did a good job saving it. And Kenny's really carved his way up here, man. Up from 16th position at a track where everybody's been struggling to make passes. But somebody that's even more crazy than that is John Binder in your 13th position, all the way up from 35th.
Yeah, I have an affection for the 23 of John Binder. He's a Carolina guy. It's kind of after my heart.
Oh, Carolina guy. Well, let's hope nothing happened to him. It looks like Ryan Strunk might have been involved in this one.
Now, we did see Jeremy Clapper Newell. He was actually down on pit road. That had nothing to do with the caution.
Okay, here. This is the 77 right now, Ryan Strunk. Strunk throwing it in. Middle of the turn.
Wait. Is that the 9-car J.C. Evans? Surely he wasn't involved.
Big wiggle from Strunk, and it just never came back. Hit the transition. That's what we were talking about earlier. You got just a certain spot where you hit it, where it slams the rub stops underneath the car and will absolutely jerk you around, and nowhere for the 12 to go.
Nick King. Right off of him, and that might be the race ender for 2 of them. Definitely
right.
going to be a race ender for Strunk.
Both Nick King and Ryan Strunk going to be recipients of the dreaded repairs required flag. So that's going to put both of those gentlemen behind the wall for the foreseeable future. And, I was going to say, wow, nowhere for Nick King to go. But I was going to say earlier under that last caution that one thing about the short tracks, it just seems that the cars are a little bit more resilient and they don't necessarily have to rely as much on the aerodynamic prowess, if you will. So that allows them to take it a little bang and a little beaten hill and there every once in a while and be okay.
Yeah, well, that wasn't the case, unfortunately, for Strunk and King here. They both took about the heaviest beating and banging you can take, and now those cars are up on the lifts, getting looked into as we get ready for what I'm hoping is going to be 1 to green here in a moment or two, going through turn 2 with the pace car. Patrick Gitter out in front with teammates Heitman and DiCiani. Pasalacqua still in 4th. Vincent Crowe sitting in 5th, able to hold off the advances here of Paul Hill. And now moving up in position, Kenny Powell is looking pretty good right now. He's had some close calls, some really close moments where we've seen some near contact here and there, but overall he's moved up 9 places over the course of the race. So let's hear it for Kenny Powell as well here up in the top 10.
Yep, really watching to see right now, though, is these guys are under caution, and those caution laps are going to help towards the bottom line, meaning that it's going to cut down the amount of time they're going to have to spend on pit road, and actually, it's going to affect that green flag pit stop. It's also getting my main man Kobe one step closer to that what is it? The meat tray. Yeah.
The charcuterie, the meat tray. Oh, there goes
also,
the pace car.
Binder is now up 24. Up 24 spots to 11th now.
My goodness. John Binder, John Binder, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm going to go with, I'm going to keep switching it off until he eventually tells me how to pronounce it. Binder, thank you very much. John Binder doing great right now at 24, looking also good up there. We're coming around, getting ready for the green flag, though, going through turn 3. In any moment here, we're going to be restarting things on the Cracker Barrel 195. There it is. We're green yet again. And it's Gitter off in front, down to the apron, as everybody spreads out and gets ready to continue this 3rd stage.
It was the 26 car that did not get a very good start. Now he's trying to make up for it. Got the 87, going to be coming down on the inside. Almost going to find ourselves in a 3-wide situation here. It's probably going to happen sooner than later, but this is going to be the checkpoint. Cautions out. That's the 3rd one. Congratulations, Kobe. It's on its way.
That's the 3rd one. Yep. That's the 3rd one. Let's see if I look back on my little list here. Looks like Jeremy Clapper Newell might have been involved in that one. Let's go back in the Wayback Machine in a little bit. See if we can catch a glimpse of what might have gone down there. We've had stage 3 has been fraught with peril, as they say in the literary world, and it looks like it hasn't been a very good one for a couple of these guys. There's the 49 now of Clapper Newell. He stayed up high on the 8 when everybody went down to the apron, decided to come down a little bit.
Oh, big lockup from the 45. Huge lockup for the 45 and got right into the quarter.
What a right hook from Zelenka. It's like your waiter was coming with your drink and he spilled and uppercut you. And jeez.
I remember too, Zelenka was one of those cars that got caught up in that wreck earlier. Yeah, he just went there and it did not hook.
No, it didn't.
Look at that. I think the toe's still messed up on that machine.
Threat to himself and others in this situation, Bacon Zelenka potentially. That's a really rough one. Looks like the drivers are starting to feel it a little bit as these restarts start to stack up on them. He certainly did. A flawless use of the soundboard. Oh, that was unexpected. Thank you. Bless you for that. But I gotta remember to use it. As we come around here, the lights are still on. We're getting things recombobulated now. Oh man, we're getting close to that estimate of 4 on the over unders for the flags there, Big Al.
Yep, I see that, but hopefully that's going to be it, man. And I'm going to tell you, if anything, though, if anybody's hoping there's another caution, it's going to be the drivers. Everybody wants the opportunity to actually go down, get 4 tires and fuel, and it's hard to do that even under cautions here. So imagine how the difficulty they're going to have trying to stop and get gas and go on the green flag conditions.
Ugh. Yeah. I still don't want to be them in this case. This still seems like a rough place to have 3 restarts in a row so early into stage 3. Remember, folks, stage 3 started at around lap 71, I believe. So we're only about 20 laps into stage 3. And it's been a really impressive race so far, especially out of Team Fortis out there at the front. But it's been an impressive race in other spots, too. The battle for 10th we've seen has been really impressive. The movement, some of Vincent Crow's movement up through the field and holding off has been really impressive. A lot of great stuff happening in the top 10. And more great stuff's about to happen because the green flag is waving and we are go. Let's see what happens here in stage 3.
Watch at the back of the field, hoping that they don't screw this up
Not
again.
There it is.
And I'll tell you, and this is coming from the back of the pack now, and you're gonna watch this, and I'm gonna say it, and guys will be like, well, I'm not whining, I'm just calling it out. You know, it seems the majority of our contact occurs when guys are racing 13, 14. But right here, we go green.
This is the 49 of Clap Renewal. This is him in the back, and then boom, what a shot, but way up ahead of him. I think that's Carr.
Yeah, that was a great Carr to 25.
And we've got a few guys now.
I think he's going to get some help from the 58 machine to his inside.
And then the 19 gets into him. Yeah, just an unfortunate set of circumstances and a fortunate chain of events, but yet still, the maintenance gods have been good. No meatball flags.
Not yet.
Keep talking about meatballs. You're going to make me hungry up here.
Nice big meatball sub with a little mozzarella cheese and marinara.
Please, man.
Yeah, I definitely think that should. Has our sponsor got anything to do with meatballs?
You know, I bet that Cracker Barrel can whip up a pretty mean meatball if you ask nicely. They can whip up a pretty nice everything else.
Well, they got meatloaf, but I don't know if they actually have meatballs on the menu. So, yeah, we're going to call it the meatloaf flag tonight.
All right, meatloaf flag it is, and it's pretty good meatloaf. I've actually had their meatloaf. It's not bad.
Yep, we're going to call it the meatloaf flag tonight in honor of our sponsors, Cracker Barrel. But, guys, right now I'm looking at this, and in the one thing I've been saying, a lot of these drivers now with the ability to have clutched and saved and not actually going out there, this is really going to start to have an impact because we're within 10 now of that going to have to pit window, and some drivers might actually be able to stretch that out.
Well, we'll see. They have 90 laps that they can make work in this fuel tank. So that seems like a lot. That's a full tank. Stretching that is going to be an essential thing to do when everybody's got that much to work with.
Also back that up with being able to have, as much gas in the car as possible means a shorter delta on pit road if you do have to come down and take a pit stop. And that means you can leapfrog a couple guys for track position if you play your cards right. And we see how valuable track position has been here all day.
Hoping those guys are doing that math.
Oh, they better be doing geometry right now because we don't want to see another restart like we've been seeing. And in the front, they haven't had to worry about it too much. That's Team Fortis out ahead. But everybody moving on back are lined up right now, getting ready for that green flag, getting ready to go around the corner and get things started. Gonna cross in front of the fans. Here we go, folks. Let's get ready for some more racing here on ISCA Live. There's the green flag, and we are go yet again.
And I do love the guys in the back of the pack and the guys in the front of the pack. I didn't want anybody to think that. I was just pointing out the fact that That's what a caution.
I'm already making T-shirts that says "Big Al hates you if you're in 10th place." So it's
That's
too
not,
late.
yeah,
Big
no,
Al.
that's not what you said under the commercial.
I'm just reading the
Nope.
script that I got from Joe. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. Well, you know what, boys? We made it through a lap. Let's see if we can keep going.
Yeah, this is Thursday Night Live as far as I'm concerned.
Ah, it's all right. I appreciate the compliment.
Side by side right now. Kenny Powell trying to make a charge to the outside of Preeby. Not able to do it, going for a little bit of crossover, but can't get the momentum down the back straightaway.
Preeby and Hill tucked in behind Passalacqua. This is an interesting spot. We got a couple of very aggressive drivers. Preeby and Hill have been both really pushing hard tonight, trying to get up positions, and they've both been making them pretty much left and right. Oh, we got a wreck in the back.
Car around.
Also not out yet, still on the green flag, hoping we can keep this thing going.
It was way in the back, so I'm hoping it was only a few cars. It looks like it was the 24th, 26th position, somewhere around there.
Looks like everything's
2 cars
okay.
over there right now. Yep, looks like it. At least cars are still moving. Somebody might have had to jump to the pits, but I don't think anybody. And so in the meantime, we're going to keep it rolling. Let's keep looking at what's going on up front, where we've got Passalacqua and Paul Hill and Joey Preeby trying to put the heat to the Team Fortis guys in the 1, 2, 3 right now.
And I'm going to tell you what, guys, there's a lot of frustration down on the racetrack because you got guys that are in the back, and this is hard to pass. They've been trying to pass the entire time, but not getting anywhere. We're halfway through this thing. Temperatures are up. We're 89 degrees on the track, 75 in the seat. So racetrack's actually cooled off a little bit, which means we're probably going to get a little bit faster times.
Talking hard to pass, but there's one guy out there that would refute that right now. The 23 machine of John Bender down to the inside now, trying to make a move for 9th place on the 54 machine of Randy Mullins. Mullins will get the momentum on the top line, coming down the front straightaway to slingshot him back in front of the 23, but that 23 is wicked fast right now.
I love that sun drop paint scheme. He's looking really good here. We recently just took a camera view at Vincent Crow, who was up a little ways earlier. Now he's fallen back, unfortunately, back to 24th position. I think he might have been involved in that dust up earlier that we happened to witness. He was a little bit sideways earlier. Thank you very much, Truck.
Not clean here, Vinny.
Not clean. Let's see what's going on here, though. We've got eyes up a little bit further. Here's the 11 machine of Matthew Cisna. He's sitting in, tucked in behind J.C. Evans.
I was actually expecting Cisna to have a little bit more of a solid performance here tonight. Don't know, maybe my expectations were higher, but Matt usually has a pretty good night, so hopefully he can shake that off and figure out how that team can get pointed more in the right direction. But guys, right now it looks like we are clean and green for the time, and I'll say it. Hopefully I won't jinx it because I don't want the meat packet. No.
I'll tell you, this place reminds me a lot like Buffalo, man. If you're just a little bit behind coming in here and you're missing just that extra 5-10%, you're going to run through this entire race completely miserable trying to find it and drive yourself absolutely mad.
Spot on. Yeah, there's some guys that are just they're not having fun. They never got the balance that they needed actually to be able to dance around these corners. And some guys are having a blast. And I'm going to tell you, one of those guys definitely got to be the 21 of Patrick Gitter. And I know we keep talking about the Fortis guys, but, I mean, he has literally led every lap here from the time the green flag initially flown. So if he can stay out of his own way and out of his own head, I think he might be okay. And he's got a little bit of a cushion, as he's only got his teammates behind him.
Yep. And it's just a matter of these guys holding on through any sort of fuel strategy. You obviously assume they're all going to end up going in at the same time, but if everyone pit around the folks who pit around 70, they're looking at around 160 for when their pit's going to hit. If they're going to hit the end of their tanks, 150, 160, somewhere in there is going to be where the strategies are going to start to play out. So we'll keep an eye a little bit ahead. We've crossed into the triple digits, though, boys. We're at lap 105 officially right now, with these Patrick Gitter, Heitman, and DeCiani boys out in front. And Brandon Pasalacqua is less than half a second behind Matt DeCiani. So the fight is still technically on for third place.
Awesome. I gotta tip my hat again, man. Look who made the pass for ninth. Bender. Such an impressive run from that 23 machine. I can't harp on it enough. Passing nearly 30 cars at Phoenix is no small task.
Mr. Atkins.
Yes.
What strategy? Talk to us.
Pit strategy. Oh, man, we're at Phoenix. It all depends on if we get that dreaded caution or if we go green. We go green, man. You stay out here as long as you possibly can. I don't feel like there's enough fall off in the tires for the undercut to really be as valuable as it is at other places.
So you envision that drivers are actually going to stay out and wait on the next caution versus actually risking it coming down pit road for a splash.
Yeah, these short track tires, man, they're resilient. They can go as long as you need them to. Probably the toughest tire compound that I think I've ever raced on here on iRacing for sure. The fall off, not, almost negligible. Maybe a couple tenths of a second here or there. At least that's how it was in the spring and summer when we came here last year, or spring and fall. And I'm not expecting anybody to be diving down super early trying to get that undercut cheese. But if we get a caution, and I'm sitting, 10th, 15th, I'm coming down pit road, I'm throwing on two tires, I'm putting it to the front, I'm seeing if she can stick.
He's taking two. Interesting. That's a very good call. Right now, a lot of drivers are going to be waiting just on that right there, Joe. They're going to see just how the flag man does. And I already told Barney, the flag guy, he's not going to be able to go down and snuggle up with Thelma Sue. He's actually going to have to stay up in the booth and keep the flags in his hands because this thing's it's going to get a little sporty, I do believe, as we get towards the end of it.
For Thelma Sue, but he is going to be a busy man, I think, and that's a very good point. If we got a yellow right around now, then they would be good. Everybody would get gas, and you'd be good till the end of the race, just about. I think at this point we're past that window, so a lot of it does come down to the dice, gentlemen, as you've mentioned before. If it goes one way, it's this. If it goes the other way, it's that. And now it's just the question it now lies on the field. Who's going to be able to get us there? Some interesting adjustments, things that have been happening. Tim Wortman Jr. is working his way back up towards the top 10. He was in the back a little ways earlier, fell back, unfortunately, but now he's climbing his way back up. John Binder, our man right now in the Sundrop machine, is looking for a spot, trying to see if he can pass Kendall LeBron here for 8th place and move up yet another position in tonight's race.
I'll tell you what, if I'm some of these other guys, I'm trying to figure out what that 23 machine found this week because he's just still got forward momentum. He's into the top 10 now. It's so much harder once you get to the top 10 group of cars and make moves, and he's just out here upclassing a lot of these big names.
And there's definitely out there, he's doing his thing, and we just hope that he can actually stay out of hit zone way tonight too, because Bender's always been a strong contender, but his problem is usually closing. So if he can actually bring home a top 10, and we're gonna watch him and mark him for that. I know, John, you can do this. We're hoping that team needs the momentum of a top 10.
Right now, the only thing that's holding, the one thing that might help him is that Kenny Powell is getting into the nose of Kendall LeBron. LeBron not looking, maybe he's trying to make the pass on Powell, but Powell is staying nice down and low, staying defensive, not really giving him the position to do so. So if he can keep things a little bit tight, that will just give Binder even more of an opportunity to make the pass here. But right now, they're all kind of staying very civil right there around the 7th, 8th place spot. So we'll see as things continue into tonight's race. Just wanted to do a quick shout out to the folks watching right now. Thank you for watching, and a quick shout out to our sponsors. Thank you for sponsoring tonight's race here, the Cracker Barrel 195 on ISCA Live. We appreciate you. And if you could, just go ahead and let folks know about the great racing that we do here. We'd love to see it make some more friends and get more folks watching out there. But back to the racing action as we watch them come around here. That's the 83 right now. Who is the 83? Excuse me, Tim Wortman Jr. As we mentioned, he was moving ahead a little bit. I think he just made a pass.
Look at that paint scheme that the 83's rocking tonight. That's a lot different than the one he was rocking last week. So, big shout out to Tim Wortman for his paint scheme.
Good glow up. Everybody likes a little bit of that. Ooh, look at that hard down across the transition there for Wortman. Very bumpy.
Wortman.
Oh, that scares me every time.
Wortman's done a good job recovering too. Fell way back into the middle of the pack after a little bit of an incident on one of the restarts, and has just done a great job crawling his way back up here just outside of the top 10.
Yep. Speaking of incidents on a restart, Freebie avoided a very rough restart after that money shift, as we called it, as it is called. Excuse me. After that money shift at that restart, he could have been caught up in something much bigger. But these guys at the ISCA, they're tough stuff sometimes, and they really. We've seen some recoveries tonight that have been pretty impressive amidst all the yellows that we've seen. So it's been a good mixed bag, the kind of mixed bag that leads to a memorable race here as we come across and get ready for lap 120 with only about 70 laps to go. 75 laps to go.
75 laps to go.
Mullins with a huge slide job there on Bender.
Oh, yeah. Left him in the dust.
75 laps to go. This scheduled for 190. So right now, drivers are starting to feel the angst. I mean, if you have not been able to make up time, this is the time to start making up time, because otherwise you're going to run out of time.
Yeah. Yeah. The clock is starting to tick.
Yeah, so you need to start making the moves, as many as you can, because you're not going to get better tires. You might get two if you're lucky, because I don't see another caution coming. So
not yet. Look at this side-by-side going on right now, though. J.C. Evans and Randy Belk briefly side-by-side out in front of Bacon Zelenka there.
Yeah, Bacon fell quite a ways back there. Started to struggle a little bit, especially in the third stage. Not like the week they had last week. Last week, those guys were in the top 5 pretty much all race long. Yeah. Bacon is unfortunately 8 laps down now. So more or less out of contention unless there's some real shenanigans. But it's still is a race to be run. So you're going to have to get around him one way or another if he's there. And he has been a thorn in the back there of quite a few cars, as we've got eyes on Vincent Crowe out ahead. Vincent Crowe is sitting next to, is that Jay Hone? Yep, Jay on the inside of Crowe now, looking for that spot. Crowe slowly working his way back up, but not really able to hold on. Ooh, contact there between Crowe and Hone. Definite contact. But they hold on to it. Just a little door bounce. Not much, just a little checkup. 24 cars remain on the lead lap.
Ruby just pulled one heck of a move on Hill for the 5th position. Give him a little shot down the back straightaway and dove right under him into turns 3 and 4 and just sent it by him to get to the 5th spot.
Got to use your nose sometimes. And like you said, there's not really spots where you're going to get the pass here, so making the pass seems like it might be a viable strategy.
Yeah. Now you want to make that pass.
Yeah, one way or another.
Freebie with a quiet race, though. It's been lurking here, just, in or around the top 5 all day. No real issues. Good run for him in that 87 machine.
Yeah, we're starting
that one bad shift.
We're starting to kind of fan out a little bit, which is actually not going to be in the favor of a lot of people. They'd probably be better off if we were to kind of clog it back up.
Yeah, that spreading out is going to lead to more green flag racing, though, and it's going to make it harder and harder for these passes to happen as everybody gets that spread out into that spread out position. You're going to need those little battles, the 1-2s to keep going and to start up and to sort of organically form as things spread out. And I think that ends up taking more time, but we play it like we've got a lot of laps left. As you mentioned though, Big Al, the clock is really starting to tick for a lot of these guys, and if they're not going to make their moves, they're going to find themselves stuck where they are with their momentum. And if they get a position, it might be 1, yeah, it might be 2, but it's not going to be as many as they need.
Yeah, and especially right now, it doesn't seem that you can count on a late race caution, so you got to race your car, and the bigger those gaps get, yeah, guys, the harder they're going to be to close.
Right now here, we've got eyes on John Binder from the tail of Tim Wortman Jr.
Binder's going to get another here. You see him get right to the quarter panel in 3 and 4. I'm sorry, 1 and 2.
Wortman.
Not able to make it stick, though. He had to lift.
Whew, and Wortman's been driving hard, too, this race. He really has been. He's worked his way back up into 10th after falling back a really good way. So he does not want to have to lose a position after clawing his way into the top 10, which is a great place to find himself after all that's been going on with him and the vehicle around there. But he's stuck behind Kendall LeBron, so his options are just as limited right now. And I think maybe, a little slide there from him. I think maybe John Binder knows that. I think he knows that Wortman's got to deal with LeBron, and he's waiting for his moment to pounce.
Well, so the one driver whose position you wouldn't want to be in, and that is the position of Kendall LeBron, because these two gentlemen aren't going anywhere, and they're definitely going to be trying to get around him so they can close the gap to the cars that are in front of them. Tick-tock, guys. You're just running out of time. 70 laps to go. Wait, sorry.
Here he comes, though. Wortman gets right up to the back bumper coming into turns 3 and 4. A little bit of an early break and a little bit slide up the hill, though, in 3 and 4. Not going to really benefit him too much. He's going to dive it down through the dogleg, try to cut off a little bit extra time. But LeBron's going to come down there with him and still be able to maintain it at turn number 1.
Here comes the pass.
Here we go.
Yeah, he's going to be trying that out.
Let's see if he's got this shot. You were saying, saying, Al?
He was going to try to beat him to that breaking point so he could get the drive off going out of the corner, and that's exactly what he did, which allowed him to get the pass. Now, it seems that the 83 is the fastest of the car, so I just think it won't be long before the 23 comes up and it executes the pass on the 2 as well. I want to see how much distance the 83 and the 23 can actually gain on the cars in front of them.
Yeah. Yeah, the cars in front of them are, Kenny Powell's a second and a half ahead right now of Tim Wortman Jr., so he's got some seconds to make up. And as you mentioned, Sheldon, you're not going to get help here. There is no help at Phoenix. So without that, it's all purely on the drivers to make up time.
And nobody's going to work with you or let you have anything at this point in the game either. It is crunch time now.
Nothing's free. No free lunch at Phoenix, folks. You got to really work for it, really dig and earn it. And in this case, these guys are digging. Lap 134 right now. The lead has been pretty locked up.
Yeah, speaking of digging, that 37 car, Kevin Zosiak, he actually came out of nowhere. He's bypassed John Binder. Looks like he is now working on Kendall LeBron. So here comes the driver right now, find himself a new leash on life. So go 37, go. We'll be tracking to see how well he advances through the field.
He's advancing pretty well considering that he just doored Kendall LeBron. He's staying down on the inside, though. I was wondering when we were going to talk about Kevin Zosiak because I saw him creeping up there on John Binder. But Zosiak and LeBron just went door to door for a second. It might happen again here as Zosiak is down on the inside. He's taking the position from LeBron at this point. But LeBron holding on the outside near the wall. Here comes the braking zone. Contact again, I think.
Yeah, it was close. No contact there, though, but Zosiak's going to get the position coming out turn number 4. And that's going to open up the door. And that's going to open the door for Binder because he's going to be able to get the momentum and get by this too finally.
That's a really good question. See, I saw the wiggle coming out of the
Good
2,
point.
and I thought maybe that was going to be it. But there comes the block. Ooh, big block out of LeBron. Does not want to let John Binder pass. Not at all.
Green flag pit stops look like they're underway. Kenny Powell, 24 car, wasting no time. He's coming down. The question is going to be, is it 4 or 2? Is it none and fuel? What's it going to be? Watching the 24, watching how long he stays. And is he going to open up the gate for more to follow?
It's a darn good question. Let's see what happens. It looks like it's going to be 4.
Four
Kevin
tires
Zosiak. Nice.
24 cars back and away. He is still going to stay on the lead lap watching Kenny Powell.
And that's good. Very, very good for him. Powell now rolling off of pit road, getting ready to rejoin traffic here.
Yep.
Traffic has been spreading out, so he is going to be part of it. But as you mentioned, he is still, it looks like
He's a lap down.
He's a lap down now, I was about to say. He is not quite on the lead lap still. He is now 1 lap down, unfortunately.
But now that Kenny's got good tires, though, we'll see Bender down on pit road now. But now that the 24's got tires, well, I should see if that makes a huge difference, especially in lap times. The fall off hasn't been that great. Thinking that it's only been maybe not even a full, maybe a second and 4/10. So not even a second and a half has been a fall off from the fastest lap to the lap that they're running now, which is the longest stint they've run thus far at 67 laps. John Bender off pit road, clean, and away he goes. Good stop.
And the fall off has been somewhat decent for some of these guys. So the guys at the front have lost about a second and 2/10. And some of the other guys have lost about 2 seconds on their tires so far. So it's definitely there. Ooh, big dive from Kenny Powell. Powell hard down to the inside here. Good exit. Good exit. Just missed it by an inch there as he makes the pass on Vincent Crowe.
I think because Powell has a long way to go. And so I don't know. I guess I can't call that. The four tire stop seemed to be the way to go for him. But if other guys don't take 4, how does that stack up for the 24? Is the speed going to be worth the offset?
Yeah, well, that's
a whole lot of the left side tires here. So, yeah, I've had races I've ran here where I've ran full 50 lap stints, 60 lap stints, something like that, and I'm looking at the right sides. They're wore down. I look at the lefts, and, we're sitting at about 98, 97%. And we got a caution on the speedway. Huge crash. Oh, Bender sideways.
Yeah, he just came off pit road. Cold tires probably had something to do with it. Going to check his damage statement, but that is going to change the ball game for not just a lot of body, but everybody.
Oh, there was a car around in front of him. Couple, actually. The 1978 and 9. Watch up there. There's 3 cars in front. 9 gets down on the apron, gets loose.
JC
Slides up the track.
Might have been
Evans gets loose.
Might have been trying to hit that breaking point. Might have been trying to execute his pit stop and probably just maybe hit it a little prematurely.
Let's see what happened here.
Let's see it. Ooh, he didn't.
Looks like he
didn't
got 200.
commit to the transition. Yeah.
Yep.
He just got 200.
He didn't want to go across the line.
Looks like he got 200 the yellow and it threw the balance off. And I think that is going to be a day ender for Bender.
I think you're right, Sheldon.
That is heavy damage.
Well,
I think you're right.
He's not showing the meatball flag, so that means it's fixable. So hopefully he'll be able to get in there under caution and get most of it repaired. Hopefully it's cosmetic, man. I'm rooting for this guy.
That's fair. We got 50 laps left. So things can happen. If things are repairable, you can get back out in the field and try to get at least some kind of position back. We've got most of the field now here down pitting, including the guys from the front, Team Fortis. They took this opportunity, along with Brendan Pasalacqua, Crow, Hill, Mullins. Just about everybody who was in the top 10 at this point now is down pit road getting, my guess is 4 in fuel. Here comes the race off pit road.
We did get some green flag pit stops.
I do
That's
hate
true.
to
There were some.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm looking at the onboard camera for John Bender right now, and the way he's holding that steering wheel down the straightaways is not the way he was holding it the entirety of the race prior.
Oh no!
You can look here, you see him clocked real hard to the left.
Oh no!
And optimal, what people like to have set for their steering offset is that wheel right there, that tape on the top of it. They like to have that about, I'd say, 5 to 10 degrees to the right from dead center. So that's
a rough spot to be in.
You know, I'm going to say this, Sheldon. He's going to have to drive that sumbitch tonight.
Oh, he's done it all night long. From the drop of the flag, man, he's been on it.
He really has been. He really has been. What a rush. What a charge. I still want to give him the hard charger award, even though he's...
No fast repairs. No fast repairs in the ISCA.
No. That's going to be the real deal, unfortunately. I think the lights are off also on the pace car. Yes, they are. The pace car is off. We're going to get things going here very soon, folks. And it looks like the front has changed just a little bit as Heitman's down to 6th place. And it's Patrick Gitter, Matt DiCiani, Brandon Pasalacqua, and Randy Mullins in your top 4 block right now as they get ready to come back. The green flag is going to wave just a moment from now. And we're going to see these guys racing here for what might be the last green flag stint of tonight's Cracker Barrel 195. There goes the green flag, and we are green yet again.
Patrick Gitter wasting no time and getting it going. He's got new partners behind him now because now the 6th Brandon Pasalacqua has entered into the fray. Brandon has actually been back and forth. Now he finds himself in 3rd. No, wait, he is battling against Matt DiCiani for what would be 2nd place. And if he were to get 2nd place, wow, what a shakeup that would be up front.
Did you see all that smoke off the wall there?
Right now, 2nd in control of DiCiani.
Woof. Good move from DiCiani into 2nd there, making the pass.
Oh, Heitman with a shot to the back of the 87 of Preby.
And a very polite sorry about that.
Yeah, from Joey. Apologize, it probably broke a little too early. Derek wasn't expecting him to break when he did. You know, for Derek, this is difficult because he's been sitting in 2nd place all race long, hasn't had to deal with traffic. Now he's taking that car and put it back there behind a handful of other guys he hasn't really had to look at the rear end of all race.
That's true.
Kevin Zosiak just kind of stepped out a little bit, had a little drift action going on. But he actually saved it, guys, and kept it pointed in the right direction.
Good.
That's going to cause him to lose a couple of spots into that, but he is still going to be in it and still looks like he might hold on to his top 10 position.
Well, we don't want any more yellows because that would put you over the over-under there, Big Al. So let's give it up there for Zosiak for holding on to things. As it looks like our boys are getting back into a single foul situation. In most cases, it looks like Zelenka is throwing things a little bit down to the side. Nope, he's back in line. Excuse me.
And I think you called it spot on there, Sheldon, as it looks like Mr. Bender has actually withdrawn from the competition. Or he's
shame,
on pit road.
Such a shame, man. He had such a great run going tonight. Fought through basically the entire field up into the top 10. And
really did.
To no fault of his own, just victim of circumstance.
Yeah, really rough situation to be in, obviously. When physics are against you and you see it coming.
That's what I was saying about Bender, man. He runs solid. I was glad he was actually able to get some stage points because closing is definitely not his strong suit. Sometimes he just ends up on the wrong side of the stick, it seems.
Yeah, that was definitely... Yeah, heartbreaking is the right word.
Let's call him up and talk to him.
Yeah, we can call him up, see if he's available. We've got a few laps to do it. So,
Heitman with another shot to Preeby.
But just there's so much going on. Don't want to miss anything here, but let's see if we can get things smoothed out, and then we'll get a second and see if John Bender is still in Discord. We'll get him up here and talk to him. But let's check and see. Just do a quick run through of how things are going right now. It looks like Paul Hill's on the outside of It's on the outside right now there of the 53 of 54. That's Randy Mullins. Up ahead of him, it's Heitman. And I guess, now might be a good time. We want to just do a quick check-in with John Bender. You want to get him up here and chat with him, Al?
He's not in Discord.
Unfortunate. Well, that would have been a perfect time. We'll keep an ear out for one of those situations. Either way, John Bender, excellent race tonight. Loved having you out here. I need a sound effect for when someone's out of the race. Here we go. A little Daytona USA game over sound effect. I think that's a good one. Here we go. Coming around, it's lap 155 out of 195. 41 to go, officially speaking, in NASCAR math. As it looks like Gitter and DeCiani are still out front. Their teammate, Derek Heitman, is still a few cars behind. He's got Brandon Pasalacqua and Joey Preeby between him and the other Fortis drivers. And everyone up front is kind of playing it cool, except for Heitman. Heitman's really putting it to the beans of Preeby here, trying to get around him if he can. But the other guys up in front, they're just racing to hold position. And I'm not seeing a ton of defensive driving out of Preeby right now.
Well, I'm saying that these guys understand this stint right here. This is stage one all over again. This is where you want to go out there and you want your fastest setup and you want to be able to just go out swinging. You know, there's nothing to save for. So these guys that are sitting in the back, they're going to slowly start to wake up, man. And you will see them start to get a lot more aggressive as we start to count this thing down. By the time there's 20 to go, I think you're just going to start to get an idea how it's going to look when it ends. By 10 to go, I think we're going to know.
All righty. Sheldon, what's your take on where things stand right now? We got the Fortis guys out in front. You think Heitman's going to work his way back up there?
It's business as usual right now. Heitman, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it, man. It's so difficult. Like I've been talking about all race, you get locked up into these positions. And with the dirty air and just how close everybody is, there's so much parity in these cars now. It's so difficult to get anything done, especially here at Phoenix, where you don't have the luxury of other lines to really lean on. And as far as other lines go, we used to go up to the top here a lot. I don't even know if that's a viable strategy anymore. Look at the amount of marbles that are built up around that outside line now.
I've been seeing them get thrown up all race. As the camera has been in certain positions, you see how that great simulation is throwing up all of that rubber. It's everywhere. And it's just like the desert sands of Phoenix itself. It is not very stable to drive on. So if these guys find themselves up there on the outside and they are not prepared for it, they can very quickly find themselves with no control of that car. Or even on the inside. As you can see, the inside's pretty pebbled with marbles as well.
16 cars on the lead lap. Kenny Powell, last car on the lead lap, he actually got caught up because he actually did a green flag pit stop. So didn't work out in his favor, but he is still left the race.
Vincent Crowe just almost got hooked by Belk there. Belk's on a deep dive down into the bottom of turns 1 and 2 and got right about a half inch. Oh, I'd say about a horsehair off of the 47 machine.
Yikes. The 47 hard
Main and
transition
tail, it's on
down
brand.
the apron. Yeah, it is on brand. Hey, very good job with that.
Vince Crowe sticking the outside line. Here comes Belk, charging back on the bottom. Vince going to get the momentum off. It's going to put him all over the back bumper, the 2 machine of LeBron. He's going to dive down to the bottom on the back straightaway into 3.
LeBron on the outside. Has to hold on to that spot, though. Wavering slightly. Lou doesn't get a great exit. It's going to have Crowe to challenge him still. Crowe with great momentum up to the inside center line there. He's got the spot.
And slide job. Vincent Crowe's going to move back up into the 9th spot. A little bit of contact behind him. Belk gets into the back of the two of LeBron and stuffed him up into the fence.
Oh!
LeBron hard into the wall, and he's taking
Oh!
Belk with him.
Oh no! Oh no!
Now, that is an instant payout of karma right there.
That is an instant payout of karma. That is a good way to put it. Unfortunately, it looks like it does. It did come back around. Oh, and that's going to be Kendall LeBron on the other side of the wall.
Yeah. Kendall comes down a little bit, gets into the nose of the 33, stuffs it up into the fence, and comes back and takes the 33 back around with him.
Lots of action going on down on pit road. Seems like everybody and their brother is coming to the house. This will undoubtedly be the last pit stop of the evening. I'm going to tell you, guys that love to see that happen. That's going to be Alexander Carr. That's going to be Kenny Powell. That's going to be Randy Mullins. Those guys were all sent to the end of the longest line because they had all attempted that green flag pit stop. So kudos to them for getting back up front.
I'm going to call it now. Heitman's going to take 2. Yeah, one guy took 2 right there a little bit further back. Not sure who that is. Going to be a huge gain there, though.
You know what, folks? We're going to go ahead and...
I was wrong.
No, you were. Didn't take 2.
No.
Yeah,
I should have.
Gitter, DeCiani, and Preby all took 2 tires. Then after that, Brandon, Derek Heitman, Paul Hill, those guys all took 4. And that is going to be the Delta. Another driver that took 2 looks like it was Randy Belk. Kevin Zosiak, well, Alexander Carr looks like he just had a splash and go. Same with Greg Wachinski.
There's the pit box.
I don't think
times.
Carr pit. I think he stayed out.
Perfect, yep.
Oh. Let me check my... Yes, sir, he did. Alex Carr. Or not Alex Carr. You talking about Greg Carr?
Roger.
Roger Carr. Yes, Greg Carr.
Greg Carr.
Roger Carr. There we go.
Roger Carr. Their grandfather, Roger Carr.
.25 machine. He's had a couple issues tonight, but been pretty quiet. Outside of an earlier incident.
Quiet, yeah.
Unless
we
I'm
saw
confusing
that
him for
one
another.
good spin.
Unless I'm confusing him for another petty motorsports themed paint scheme.
There is one other.
Yeah, both of the cars were running the petty paint scheme, Greg and Alexander.
I was going to say it could have been either of them. I didn't quite get the number off the incident the very first time there, but there goes the pace car is off, I believe, and we're getting ready to get things restarted here.
Now, also remember that Greg Carr is on old tires, guys, and he is not one of the fastest cars on the track tonight. So all of those things are definitely going to come into play here.
That's true. There's the green flag, and we are go yet again. I think one of the cars you just said might have a black flag, so I think he's going to fall down and might have to do a drive-through.
Front row. Gitter has one too. What I just heard.
Oh no!
Not seeing that.
He just had him cleared. Yeah, I'm cleared.
Not seeing that. No.
I wonder how that happened.
I think Carl's just getting out of the way.
DeCiani.
That was a good call.
Yeah.
DeCiani with a huge dive to the bottom, but Heitman's going to get up to the quarter panel down the front straightaway. And he's going to try and take it 3 wide into turn number 1. I don't know. He laid out of it.
No, he held back, yeah, just a little bit. Heitman doesn't want to quite go there yet, but Preby is going to be blocking both of them as we come down here. Preby very defensive right now up at the front. He wants that spot from Gator, doesn't want to lose anything. And if he can hold on to second for another couple of turns and get some speed out of these exits, he might be in a good spot to challenge him.
And the Pasalaco fighting for his life now. He has got Paul Hill. Brandon actually lost a lot of spots under that last caution. Paul Hill now to his outside. He is doing everything that he can to maintain his position.
Caution.
Man, we're stacking them up now, guys.
No. It looks like a little retaliation post-fact, too. A little bit further back. I think I just saw a car stuffing it into somebody's door.
Yeah, that'll get you gone.
I think that might be number 6, boys.
Car with a lot of damage.
Yeah, unfortunate. Let's see what happens here. Oh, he gets split.
Dave Hughes
Let's check the
Jr.
replay here. Eyes
been
on
such a
Dave
good night.
Huge. Down across the apron.
Oh, 58 got loose and got right into the door. Nothing Dave could have done there.
Yeah, Connor
That's
Banks.
That's pretty much going to end Dave's day right there, guys. He has now got the dreaded repairs required flag, and I don't think he's going to shake that dog.
No, not with this much time left.
I'll tell you one guy that did not want to see that caution come out. That was that 87 machine of Pre, because he was making intros on your race leader when that yellow came.
Oof. Very much so. Very much so. He had his hands full when that restart happened. He really had his hands full. And now he's going to be in a similar situation where he's going to be trying to chase down Patrick Gitter and hold off the extremely hot and focused eyes of Derek Heitman and Matt DeCiani, who are right behind him.
Looks like the 20 car is. Looks like 20 car is the lucky dog, but hey, Preby's going to have his hands full. Like, number one, Patrick Gitter has if you watch him on the start, right, probably the best starter, especially on this track that you're going to see, hands down. So Preby's going to experience that here real soon. And when that happens, he's going to do everything he can going into one to try to fight for his position, because he is not going to have just one, but he's going to have two of Gitter's teammates bearing right down on him, and I don't know if they're going to spare him any mercy.
There's one thing I learned about Colin Gitter all year last year in the Monday and Friday night races. That's one calculated yet aggressive driver. He'll get the most out of whatever you put underneath him. He'll get the most out of it, and that's a guarantee.
Well, that's what we like to see. That's what makes good racing here, and the ISCA has got some really excellent racers here on the field, Gitter being just one amongst many, and the guys have been doing a pretty excellent job tonight. There goes the pace car. We're getting ready for some more racing here, folks. We've got just over 20 laps left in tonight's race. Thank you for following along if you've been here from the beginning. If you jumped in the middle, thank you for jumping in. We've really enjoyed calling the race so far, and we've got a little more left to go, so let's look for that restart zone. There it is. We are green yet again. What a launch.
Reby not getting the start that he wanted there. Heitman going to get in front of him coming into turn number 3.
We knew that was coming, though.
No,
Heitman
3 wide.
Very angry.
Oh, a little bit of contact. Car up into 83, just a touch.
Come on, fellas. Keep it straight for these last couple of laps here, and we can all go home.
Also, what caution was that?
6.
We're getting in my wheelhouse, boys.
Yeah,
more to go.
That was my number. I want to stop the yodeler as he goes up the mountain right there, please, Bob. That was a deep cut reference to The Price is Right, by the way.
Yeah, I caught that. I still think the price is wrong, though.
The price is wrong. We're not going to get that cameo a second time, unfortunately. But here we have Gitter out in front, Heitman behind, Preby still tucked in the middle of these teammates here. DeCiani behind him. DeCiani looking he's got a little distance on him, but he's close enough that I think he's going to start the attack any second here. And then behind him, it's a pack of wild hyenas. Brandon Pasalacqua with Paul Hill on the outside. Hill has been just a hard driver all day today. He's been up in the front, in the middle. He's been making passes, been getting past. He is doing pretty good, though, right now in 5th. Just barely holding off Brandon Pasalacqua, and Tim Wortman Jr. right now in 7th place.
Paul Hill definitely has a little bit of something to prove last week. I think he kind of feels that he got robbed of a win. But right there also, Kevin Zosiak makes his way back into the top 10. He's going to be trying to battle Randy Mullins, who's just being led by Vincent Crowe. Kenny Powell also, and Alexander Carr, Randy Drumhill, those guys will be going to be trying to eke into the top 10 as we are coming down to what I believe is 15 laps to go.
Yep, I think that's about right. 15 laps to go. One more sponsor I want to shout out to, Butt Kicker. Thank you for sponsoring to the ISCA here. I see them on screen. I want to make sure I shout out the guys as I see them go by. So there's a lot of things that go into bringing on a broadcast like we put together here, folks, and not one piece is greater than any other. So we really appreciate everything that goes on, and we really especially appreciate you and the interactions we have with you. So thank you yet again for following us here for tonight's race. Eyes on Kenny Powell right now as he moves up, makes some positions. He is sitting, where is Kenny sitting? He's sitting 12th right now overall.
Handful, but really reining it in here at a track that, comes down to drivers. Good seeing that 24 machine running quick.
Yeah, another driver
he is
that
reining it
definitely could
in.
use a break. Yeah, Kenny hadn't had too many good runs here this season, so anytime he can actually get himself a clean top 10 or top 15, man, that's a good night.
Yeah, I mean, when you go plate track, and road course, it gets pretty jarring for some of us, oval normies.
I believe that's a ooh, ow, oh.
It's a
ooh, yeah.
That's a triple whammy to the old I rating in official. For a lot of us,
that's the week's guys skip.
Yeah, Powell slowly trying to make his way up as he is now nose behind his G&G teammate, the 37 of Kevin Zosiak, still trying to fight for the 10th position, though, but looks like Wachinski is going to be coming down on the inside.
Wachinski in that monster truck, or that monster car in this case, is in a very good defensive position right now. 37's on the outside. Zosiak's, if he can hold on to the speed on the outside, he'll be able to make this pass, but he's kind of fluctuating a little bit. Kenny is just, he's got to get around Wachinski, and I'm wondering when he's going to get the burst to do so, because Wachinski is using the track just defensively enough to keep Powell off his game. Oh, here we go. He slides up a little bit. Powell stays down low, uses the apron hard, dives deeper than Wachinski. Comes back up, and they're door-to-door. That's going to be the exit that Kenny Powell needs, I think. He's gotten some great exits in this Stage 3 run here from him.
Yeah, those B&G teammates, Wachinski probably just said, hey, Powell, go up there, you battle with him. But either way you look at it, Zosiak is in the fight for his life because both these guys, they're not going to let him rest. You can count on that.
There's a little bit of a gap forming right now in the field from about 9th place to 10th. Zosiak is leading the pack, but of guys that are really duking it out back there. Randy Mullins, though, out ahead. He's about 2 seconds ahead of Kevin Zosiak. So we do have 2 packs here right now. The pack for the lead and the pack for 10th place.
This is the choke point right here because these guys actually having to push each other way down to the inside every turn because that's what happens when you're side by side. Not either one of the drivers wanting to relent. So this right now is unfortunately the battle that we're going to watch.
Yep, for 10 more laps.
That's a good feeling as a team, too, to have all 3 of your cars sitting there 1, 2, 3 with each other. Doesn't matter where you're at. It's a good sign that everybody that's on board that organization is getting the most out of their equipment. And it's good to use as a measuring stick, too, to kind of figure out what you need going forward, where you guys actually are.
Yeah, that's really good. It's a really good point. Really good metric, yeah. I can't decide which battle I want to watch, though, because right now I see Kenny Powell almost getting put into the center of a 3-wide situation back a little ways. But, of course, 3-wide doesn't last very long here at Phoenix, so that had to sort itself back out very quickly. I see Alex Carr right now on the inside of Greg Wachinski back there in the battle for 10th. Carr and Wachinski close now. Carr giving Wachinski the pinch up on the outside wall. Still with enough speed to stay ahead of him, though. A lot of stuff going on here. We've got less than 10 laps to go, folks. It's looking good for Team Fortis, but up there at the front, let's focus on the lead. Joey Preby is still tucked in the middle of that group. He's sitting on the podium. I know they want to have all 3 of their teammates up there, so it's up to Matt DiCiani to close up that last second in these last 6 laps.
DiCiani definitely going to have his hands full because in order to do that, first he's got to catch Mr. Preby, then he has to pass them, and that's just one. Those are 2 things that we've seen to be both challenging here tonight as Wachinski's finally got a little bit of breathing room as he has got Mr. Carr off his keister. Kenny Powell definitely. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Freebie, he slipped under the radar a little bit tonight. We haven't talked about him as much as we have a majority of these other guys. But I tell you what, he's had that Ryko setup shot machine set up quick today and just hauling, sitting in that top 5 range.
Just had a little contact between the 33 and I believe the 44 Randy Drumhiller. He shook himself out though.
Okay, that's good. I was going to say, we don't want to have anything too much going on here with his last 6 laps to go. We want to see some nice, clean racing. Want to have a nice, clean finish. So the ISCA's Cracker Barrel 195 continues here right up to the finish, folks. Remember to get out your favorites. If you had picked Patrick Gitter, you were from earlier, then you probably had that was a great choice. I think we had someone really smart here pick Patrick Gitter to win the race, right?
I think we were going for low-hanging fruit.
I wouldn't call that Tyler smart.
Well, I'm just trying, I got to try to butter your biscuit a little bit there, but I think that it was a prescient pick, obviously. In this case, Gitter, Heitman, and DeCiani, the teammates, have been pretty dominant this race, but here in Stage 3, all the restarts shook things up enough that Joey Preby is able to sneak in there to the 3rd place position. We've got 4 laps left to go now. We're on lap 192 out of 195.
Elbows out, gentlemen. These last 4 laps are gonna literally mean everything. Drivers will be trying to get whatever position they can.
And Heitman's fast right now. Closing on your race leader here in these last couple laps.
Oh man,
Preby fastest lap on that last lap.
Whew, this is the time to do it. You only got a few laps left to set some records and get things locked up.
Is he going to be able to get to the bumper? He's getting close here. Closer this time. A little bit of a slide out of the 21 machine of Gitter down to the start-finish line here.
We're getting
Heitman
close.
going a little bit lower.
That white flag. Very soon, here comes the white flag. Oh, man.
Oh, he's got him here. He's on the bottom of the quarter here in 1 and 2.
Making his presence felt.
Is he going to give him the bumper into 3?
No way he can tap him. There's no way.
Oh, you'd be amazed, brother.
I believe I would be.
Heitman definitely showing a nose. He is making his presence felt.
He's going to have to get it done down here in 1 and 2. He's going to go high here, try to use a little bit of momentum to shoot him down the back straightaway. Oh, but he loses the drive.
Yeah,
slides a little bit.
Watch. Oh, into the wall. I was going to say watch for the cross-up, but it's not going to come at this rate, not with a loss of momentum like that. He puts it down where it was going to go, folks. The speed was going to be there. Here comes the checkered flag, and that's it for the Cracker Barrel 195. Patrick Gitter in first, Derek Heitman in second, Joey Preby in third. Whew! Breathe out.
Say what if Heitman could have gotten that. If Heitman could have gotten that thing to stick, he got up there into the marbles a little bit in 1 and 2, and I think it just threw the front rotation off for him.
I think you're right. I think you're
he
right.
Could have gotten it to stick though.
That slide, that wall hit, it robbed him of everything.
Yeah, if he could have gotten that thing to stick, man, that would have been a slingshot down the back straightaway and door to door into 3.
Phew. Okay, folks. I think it's time for a quick commercial break before we come back with some driver interviews. Nope. Oh, I keep forgetting. Every week I forget to do results first. Let's go ahead and break down the results. I'm waiting for them to be official, Truck. That's what I'm trying to do here. But here we go with the top 10. Let's break it down. Patrick Gitter, Derek Heitman in first and second, Joey Preby in third, Matt DeCiani in fourth, Paul Hill in fifth, Tim Wortman in sixth, Brandon Pasalacqua in seventh, Vincent Crow in eighth, Randy Mullins in ninth, and Kenny Powell in 10th. Take it away, Big Al.
Evan Zosiak in 11th, 12th place Greg Wachinski, 13th place Alexander Carr, 14th Jay Hone, 15th Randy Drumhiller, 16th Randy Belk, 17th Greg Carr, 18th Chuck Burley, 19th Connor Banks, and Jason Maines rounds out the top 20.
In 21st, we got Matthew Cisna, followed by Jose Medina in 22nd. 23rd is going to go to Chris Crosby with Bacon Zelinka in 24th. 25th, going to be Jeremy Clapper Knoll, followed by J.C. Evans in 26th. 27th is going to go to David Gervais, followed by Dave Hughes Jr. in 28th. 29th place is going to be Kendall LeBron and the heartbreak of the night. John Bender going to unfortunately bring it home, 49 laps down in 30th. And on to you, Joe.
All right, bringing it home, Nick King in 31st, Ryan Strunk in 32nd, Josh Schaffner in 33rd, Chris Johnson in 34th, Paul Olson in 35th, and Brian Johnson in 36th. Those are your results right now from the ISCA Live Cracker Barrel 195. And now, I think, it's commercial break time. We're going to take a really, really quick one here, folks, and when we get back, we'll have some chat with our drivers. So stay tuned for some insights and more here on ISCA Live.
We believe it means more when something's made by hand here at Cracker Barrel, and we hope you think so too. So stop on by. You're always welcome.
We are back here with the post show after the Cracker Barrel 195 winner, Patrick Gitter. What a race we had tonight. 195 laps. It was a doozy. And we are going to chat right now with a few of our race winners. So let's see. I don't see we're going to start right now with Joey Preby. Actually, he's right here. So I'm going to pass him over to Sheldon Atkins. Sheldon, and go ahead and interview with Joey Preby.
Yeah, Preby, a really good night out of you tonight. Sitting there, tucked in that top five from start to finish. Just walk us through the race a little bit, man.
It's good. I had a good stage one. I think finished fourth. Struggled stage two. Just accidentally left the car in neutral. Just weird shifting. Kind of fought through stage three. Took two tires at the end. Bad, waste management. I felt like, there's some stuff that, it says in the rules we're not doing, and then we do it. It's frustrating. But overall, I'll take third. Good point stay.
Yeah, man, good point stay. I'm sure a big boost in confidence too to come here on one of the more difficult tracks to get a handle on, and sit here and run with names like Heitman, DeCiani, and obviously your winner, Patrick Gitter, guys that, pretty much held it down all year in the big stuff. Got to be a good feeling for you, right?
Yeah, it feels good to be up there. I thought I would have something at the end. Just not enough time, just a couple mistakes. Just stuff like that in general kind of helped me. But overall, feel good about this finish.
Well, Joey, after a good, strong podium finish, anybody you want to give a thanks or a shout out to?
Yeah, everyone at Lyco, Ken Byron, Roger, Derek, all the guys over there, to help me become the best I can be, and just make me the best driver I can, and I thank them very much.
Well, Joey, thanks for stepping up here and talking to us tonight. Going to hand it over to Big Al with our P2 finisher.
Hey, thanks, Sheldon. Hey, looks like Derek Heitman, Big Al up in the booth. You got me.
What's going on?
Hey, Derek, this is starting to become a little bit of a habit here, man. You and these podiums, it seems that week after week, you're finding a way to get up here tonight. Not so easy. Seems you had your hands full, but overall, looks like a good points day for you.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, we'll take it. I wish I could have been one position better, but I mean, dirty air here is atrocious. I just really couldn't get to Pat. I tried very hard. I was driving the absolute heck out of it at the very end of that race there, and I kept getting to his left rear, and then I was like stuck between a rock and a hard place of if I wanted to try to pack air, if I wanted to try to generate a run down the backstretch, running the third line, in 1 and 2, and I think I elected wrong. I should have just packed air on him on exit and tried to get him loose and tried to have a shot, because I know at the end there he was kind of missing the bottom in 3 and 4. So I feel like if I would have went that route, I would have at least had the bottom in 3 and 4. But I just picked wrong, and then Pat did a great job playing defense. He read me like a book. Honestly, he seen me go up there one lap, and then the very next lap he was up there blocking the air, and then I got bottom 1 and 2, and I got under him in 1 and 2, and I just couldn't get off the. I mean, it's just this. Whoever has the lead here wins. I mean, it's just the way that the package is. Unfortunately, it's just so hard to pass.
Yeah, we definitely saw that, man. But indeed, it was a thrill to watch from where we were, especially watching you three teammates up front battling it out and the respect that you guys have. Was it fun as you guys were actually trying to crack this course here and practice together, getting ready for this week's competition?
Yeah. You know, I put in a lot of laps leading up to every single week, and I mean, all those laps that I put in, I hope that one week they pay off for a win to be able to come off in this league. The team I've raced with, you know, Fortis, I know that they put in a lot of laps. Matt and Pat, they've worked their butt off every single week to try to be competitive as a two-man crew. But racing for Ryko, I wouldn't have it any other way. They do a good job every single week. Get the best of my ability underneath the car that I'm given. I just feel like maybe this week I was a little bit of ill prepared on my end. I feel like I could have been better. But each and every single week, you know, we pour our hearts out, everybody in this league, to build setups and make it as good as they are. So I mean, I got to shout out Ken for always putting in all the work. One of these weeks I'll be able to bring him home a win.
Well, what about next week? We're headed to Vegas. How does that racetrack stack up? You know, there was a time where you and I would talk, and it seemed like, you know, you were in the winner's circle. You were winning a lot. Now, I'm not saying anything, but it was always like it was your first time at the tracks that you were winning at. Have you been to Vegas before, or is this going to be another first-time victory for you?
I think I've been there a time or two now. I think I got a couple years of Hey, actually, today's my 3-year anniversary on iRacing, so we'll take that.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, I forgot to make dinner reservations, but yeah, Vegas should be a good track. We're gonna, of course, put in a lot of work for that week too. Everyone's gonna be hard to beat there, especially if Clayton shows up. Clayton always has a really good 1.5-mile program. So we'll see what everybody offloads with. I know for a fact we're going to be competitive. It's just I feel like we've gotten to the point now on this tire model, this car model, you know, where everybody that's out there has really figured out everything that there is to learn in order to be fast. So it's hard, you know. It's more hard now for one area to have an advantage over another. Obviously, no setup is one size fits all. But I really hope in this next update, you know, next Thursday when we're racing, we should have a new tire underneath us. I hope. If we don't have a new tire underneath us, it's gonna really suck. But I just hope we have something to kind of like differentiate the speed in the field. Even if I don't offload and be the fastest right away, you know, I just hope that there's something that differentiates everybody in the field. And I mean, the mile and a half is, I know I probably sound like I'm crying, but there's a lot of like drafting that happens at those tracks that shouldn't happen at those tracks because the I mean, the racing in this car is just kind of going downhill because they need to make some adjustments to it. But we should be good next week. Everybody will probably be good next week. Matt and Pat will be good next week. You know, as long as we keep Fortis at the top of the team points in this league, that's all I really care about.
Has that been a challenge for you guys now that the team sizes have gone down to 3, or are you actually looking at that as an advantage?
I mean, it don't really bother me at all. I mean, previously, it was me, Matt, and Pat, right, as our team when we were EPI, when we were TCSP. I mean, even in between when I had my little rendezvous at Ryko between EPI and TCSP, it was always me, Matt, and Pat. They've always been great teammates to me, but you know, I mean, being the house drivers at a setup shop, we always ran with the customers, which I do miss running with the customers, but there was always a lot of I feel like the concentration level that us three are able to have now is a lot better than when we had a lot of noise in our ears during races. So
Roger that,
buddy. Million teams I'm not too upset about, but we'll keep it rolling. Sorry, Big Al. I'm just thinking my train of thought as we go here.
No, I'm just letting you finish.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the longest interview of the night.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, but who you shouting out here for your second place finish, bud?
I mean, again, you know, I got to shout out Matt and Pat. They had a really good setup this week. I feel like there was areas in the track where I was better than Pat, and there was areas in the track where he was better than me. I don't feel like one of us was necessarily ever better than the other. I just, like I said, I feel like that had I gotten around him and gotten the lead, I just feel like we would have seen the same race either way because we were both really fast. Shout out Ken again for putting together an amazing setup. All the guys on Team Ryko. Like I said, I mean, we probably have over 4,000 laps in the Phoenix set this week, and we'll probably do the same thing in Las Vegas. So, shout out to them. Shout out to you guys for putting on, I'm sure, a great race. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to watch it tomorrow when I'm slow at work, like I always do. Shout out to Kenny to putting on the league, and thank you guys very much.
Roger that, brother. We'll holler at you next week, and as I always say, don't party too hard.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks Big Al for that interview, and now I'll take things up to Patrick Gitter, our race winner, and we'll have a quick chat with him because we did talk to him earlier. Patrick, are you there?
Yes, sir. I got you, Joe.
Hey, well, you know what? We talked to you at the end of stage 1, and now we're talking to you at the end of stage 3. How about that? You were able to hold on to every single lap here tonight. Is Phoenix your track?
I mean, it didn't used to be. Honestly, came in. I think Derek was probably the favorite to win this race coming into it. A lot of work went into our car this week, and I think it's just a testament of, you know, I feel like I've been capable at Phoenix, but just haven't been able to make it happen. And I think a lot of that's just a testament to, I mean, I couldn't be any more pleased with the car that Matt and I were able to build for this week, regardless whether it was officials or leagues or whatever. Just a two-man crew putting in laps each week, trying to build something that's competitive to challenge ourselves. And I just feel like we did a phenomenal job with it this week. But a lot of it was track position. I mean, Derek mentioned it earlier. It is so difficult to pass here. If you can grab track position and hold on to it, you have the advantage. And so I think it was just a good combination of being able to hold on to track position and having a car that we were confident in, that felt like could win some difficult races.
Yeah, you guys had your trio were pretty dominant all night. It wasn't really until the third stage when the restart started to really shake things up with Joey Preby sneaking his way in there. Did you were you worried in any of those restarts that maybe you were going to be sacrificing that track position you'd worked so hard to get?
Absolutely. I mean, I was trying to jostle up the start point in the restart zone every time. That was such a challenging deal to try to like keep an eye on. You kind of had to keep an eye on the guys around you to see when they might be trying to jump the restart, get a good run. That was huge. I mean, you messed that up once, and you're at a disadvantage if they can get onto your door into one and hold it on the outside.
Yeah, really, that's very true. And we saw a lot of action in one right behind you as a couple of those races restarted. So very, very good on you for staying out there ahead of it. And good on you at the end of that race, too, for holding off Derek Heitman there. He, aside from his 2 small errors he almost had you right there at the line. So a little bit of teammate on teammate rivalry or activity, I should say. Were you worried maybe he was going to get further in the quarter panel there?
Yeah, I was just trying to play defense there at the end. I mean, I from what I had seen throughout the race, I knew that he probably had the better short run car for the first 20 to 30 laps, and then I felt like if we could hold on, we had a little bit better long run car. And to Derek's point too, it started to become clear like where his car was better versus mine, and it became pretty clear at the end there. And it was difficult. I mean, I know how good Derek is here, and it was just about playing defense, holding the track position, and being smart about what lines to cover there at the end that would give the advantage. But I was driving the wheels off of it, man. He was making me nervous at the end there, trying to hold on to it. So it was striking a fine balance between holding on to the car and being aggressive versus while being smooth and not making a mistake.
Well, you guys made the end of the race a hell of an exciting view from our point of view. So thanks again for that. And finally, is there anyone you'd like to shout out to or thank again for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, first off, you guys in the booth for sticking around for the broadcast, doing a good job with that. Kenny for putting on this league, and really shout out to the guys in this league in general. I mean, the first half of the race, we went through 2 stages with no cautions, and you absolutely do not see that in officials. So incredibly clean race through stage 2. Shout out to everybody in the field for that. Shout out to Derek for P2, Joey Preeb for P3. I think you'll be seeing him a lot up front. He's a good driver, so he brings speed, and he's a new guy this season, so we'll be watching him. Obviously, shout out to Matt. I mean, again, Matt and I, it's just a 2-man crew building this car week to week, and it's incredibly satisfying just to be able to pull a car out into these races for 2 guys building that can, when we hit on it, to see it compete the way it does and the way we can is just satisfying. It's a lot of work that's put in, and it's a lot of fun doing it. So Matt and Derek have been teammates a long time. Great team effort all around tonight. Great chemistry. Love racing with both those guys. So just appreciate them. And I think that about does it. So just again appreciate you guys up in the booth for sticking around and commentating for us.
Well, it was our pleasure. Thank you, Patrick, for your time, and we'll see you next week.
All right, take care. Thanks, guys.
All right, take it easy. And that's going to wrap things up for us here from the ISCA. Folks, thank you very much for joining us. Thanks again to Kenny Powell for putting this on. Big Al, what's your takeaway from tonight's race?
Man, good, clean racing. Thanks for all of the drivers for the time they put in this week, man. I mean, running all of the laps, the practice laps, coming out here tonight, putting on a great show for us, man. Thank you, guys, and thank your families for letting you do that. Thank you, Joe, for giving me a chance to talk. Thank you, my buddy over there, Sheldon, man. I think I like you better than Joe. Thanks, Kobe, for keeping the truck clean. Thanks, Kenny, for keeping the place all shined up for us. Thank God. That's it.
Sheldon, how do you feel about me? Did we lose Sheldon? Is he full of emotion right now?
Mic check 1 2. There we go. No, I think I agree. I like Big Al a little bit more than Joe. It's good to sit here and pick on him. It's just great to be up here. Thank you, Kenny, for asking myself and Joe to be up here in the booth, and let us have as much leeway as we do. It's been a great race and absolute blast to cover ISCA again. And Kobe, great work there in the production truck. And looking forward to seeing you guys next week at Las Vegas.
Yeah, I want to thank you two knuckleheads for joining me up here in the booth, and I like Kobe better than both of you. I'll go ahead and say that.
It's okay. Kobe likes us more too.
Ah, damn it! I knew it. We'll do a poll and see who the most popular one really is up here. Maybe I don't want to see the results of that poll. Anyways, for real though, really had a good time as usual, boys. Looking forward to doing it again. Kobe, thanks for your help down in the truck. We'll see you folks at Las Vegas next week. So tune in for some more great racing from the ISCA. Thank you for your time tonight. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Take care.
I found the ISCA after I'd been in the service for a long time. I'd been in iRacing for well over a decade and spent most of my time in NASCAR series, a lot of fixed racing for the most part, and really just got to a point in my iRacing career where I really wanted to get involved in open setup racing versus fixed, partially because I was just looking for a little higher level of competition, maybe a little cleaner driving and maybe get away from some of the challenges that go along with fixed racing on the service. And it took me a while as I was really searching out leagues because I kind of had a very specific thing I was looking for. A, I wanted to be an established league. B, I just really wanted clean, quality drivers to be racing around. And once I found the ISCA, I found out really quick that it was going to check all those boxes, and I've been with the ISCA ever since.